probably doing super nationals and all that again, right? Well, we had 3 yesterday, right? Are we actually?
What have you been saying?
Well, welcome to Älvsbyn. Obviously, some of you tuned into our motoring qualifying sessions. We had Q1 and Q2 in the books, and Hal, I mean, it was definitely eventful.
Yeah, lots of weather changes. Started very wet. The lap times tumbled throughout both the sessions. Plenty of drama as well, but I think that's only going to hot up. Q3, all important for the qualifying positions for semis and finals, but also there's qualifying points and championship points on offer. So it's so important to get those points in the bag at this stage of the year with just a couple of rounds still to go. So yeah, all to fight for this afternoon.
Yeah, lots of changes from yesterday to today. Obviously, we saw Cerna with that incident in the last session. Looks like Nason, I believe, did get disqualified in that session. So those of you tuned in earlier saw that incident. We've got Omen back after the big spill yesterday. I mean, Victor Johansson, he's getting a little redemption today from yesterday's miss of the finals.
Yeah, and super fast times as well. Ollie Eriksson just pipping his brother Kevin Eriksson for the fastest time in Q2 in open four-wheel drive, fastest time we've seen of the weekend so far. Plenty to fight for this afternoon for those guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be a great day of racing here. We've got a lot going on. We're going to grab some lunch here. We got stuff going on in the background. People starting to fill in, buzz around. We've got the fields and the hills around here starting to fill in with fans. The sun's starting to come out. It's going to be some great racing action all afternoon long here in Älvsbyn. And look at that. I called it. I was right for once. We got the sun out. It might only be for a minute or two, but I just wanted everybody to know that we do have the sun out, Hal.
And you predicted it several times before it did actually come out. Good job, Jim. It's welcome for these hardy local fans. They'll be absolutely delighted with the improved weather, and it should give us some great racing this afternoon. Certainly if the dry line increases across the width of the circuit, we'll see plenty of action, I'm sure. Lots of work going on in the paddock behind us at the moment, and these teams are getting ready for a frantic weekend of action to finish off the weekend here in the furthest north venue we come to.
Yeah, well, this one is definitely far north, that's for sure. I think borderline Arctic Circle. I don't know. They say there's night, but I don't know that I saw it since we've been here. I mean, I got up at one point at midnight. There's still sun coming in through the window, so we will see. But, as you said yesterday, this morning, just the change in the track from Q1 to Q2, just a little bit. Well, the rain stopped. The sun hadn't even come out yet, but just drastically faster times from Q1 to Q2.
Yeah, we saw that through this morning as well, didn't we? The lap times tumbling throughout. It's going to be interesting to see where the pace is at this afternoon. If anything, we'd like a bit of consistency for Q3 just to see the cream rise to the top in terms of ultimate pace, but I do like a bit of rain and mixed weather to mix things up a bit. We've had a bit of that this weekend, so maybe we hang fire and stay dry for the rest of today.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because, like we said, this track caters to a bunch of different type drivers. It takes somebody that's very well-rounded to be successful here. You throw in the rain, and then there's another element, and you really see what drivers can handle different conditions. Been quite fun out here in Älvsbyn.
Yeah, we also get that stage, which is classic in rallycross, where you go through the full wet, and then you go through this like greasy period where it's slimy, and that loose is getting dragged onto the tarmac, and it's not raining anymore, but the wet tyres don't really work. You can't be on dries. It's a real compromise. Rallycross is all about compromise. You're never really on the right tyres at the right time, and when the weather's that bit more complicated, it's that's even more so.
Which brings us to Crosscar Junior. This is going to be Q3 Race 1 getting ready to get underway. We've got Paramaki, Tovio, Matlamaki, Mane, and it doesn't look like Yelame has made it to the grid quite yet. Which I don't know that there was any problems in the last run. I don't think there was an incident, so that's interesting.
She finished the last session, didn't she? You're right, so I don't know what's going on there. Everyone will make the semi-finals, of course, this afternoon with the 10 entrants into Crosscar Junior, so maybe they need more time to sort something out ahead of the knockout races later on.
So Mane been having some struggles this weekend. See if Mane can put it together. Paramaki been ridiculously fast so far all day long. Going to look here into that corner. Look at that, sun is coming out.
Matlamaki through the middle of the pack to take the lead. Matlamaki had that puncture for those watching in Q2 earlier on. Big air now from the pack as they jump into the tightest of the right-handers at the start of the lap. Oh, and a problem for Mane again, exiting that turn. Matlamaki is being chased by Paramaki up front, yet Mane's going no further.
Starting to get to see some dust here as these cars start to slide around. So it is Matlamaki and Paramaki 1 and 2. Tovio in the 3rd spot.
Matlamaki in this championship fight together with Manisto. And that punch really did a great salvage job.
Got 3 drivers all capable of taking a victory here. Matlamaki going to take us through lap number 1. Number of drivers yet electing to take the Joker. I think we could see Tovio possibly take the Joker this time by. Try and get a little gap here. We'll see.
Paramaki will go in, I'm sure, Jim, just to get out of the traffic. Yeah, Tovio has a think about it and then decides better of it once Paramaki's gone in. Wise decision from Mina Paramaki.
This is going to be Matlamaki. Tovio now 1 and 2. Lap and a half remaining here. Starting to get a little bit of breathing room as Matlamaki needs as much as possibly can get. Paramaki with already having the Joker under her belt. Gonna try and make a move here on the last lap. Matlamaki gonna try and see if he has it covered up. A little slide up there. That was the number 66 of Tovio. Kind of running up wide and hitting the bumper there on the edge. Rumble strips. All right, so we're going to see how things shake out here with the Joker in play.
Matlamaki fastest lap of the race so far, fastest lap of the day for Matlamaki, a 50.8. For reference, the fastest lap in Q2 earlier on was a 52.5, so the time's still tumbling. Round the outside of Paramaki goes Matlamaki. It's a good run for Paramaki, but can't do anything about Matlamaki, who's second in the points, 1 on the first day. Last time out in Honky-Yoki, doing a solid job here, and it's all about trying to climb back up the order. Matlamaki currently 7th in the intermediate classification heading into Q3 after that slow time in Q2 earlier on.
Look at that dry line starting to form there. As we got Matlamaki going to bring it home to the finish.
2:41.4 is the time, fastest lap of the weekend for junior cross car. Just having a look back at yesterday's times, we're at the driest the track has been at any point so far this weekend, so the time's tumbling still.
It was Paramaki almost getting around Matlamaki, but Matlamaki had it covered. Bring us to the finish. Was Matlamaki on top in this one. Paramaki in the 2nd spot, Tovio. Mane with the DNF, and Yelame not starting on this one. Don't know what happened there. I'm sure we'll see in the semifinals as it brings us to another group of cross cars. This is Q3 Race 2 for Cross Car Junior. Ministo on the pole, Hookah, who has been very strong so far this weekend, Antilla, Kangasaho, and Isik in this one. So 5 drivers that are all very quick. This is going to be a shootout in this one. Kangasaho ended up on lid in the qualifying session number 1, came back very strong in Q2. So we're going to see if Kangasaho can put it together in Q3. Hookah's had some ridiculously fast starts this weekend. Be watching that number 47 in the 2nd spot.
Start across the width of the track, but it's Isik who had the best of the launches, tucks into 3rd. Ministo at the front of the order, takes the lead. Been fastest in the opening 2 sessions, isn't really in danger for the top qualifier position, given that the other drivers have been fighting over 2nd and 3rd. Hookah currently 2nd in this race. Antilla used an early joker strategy in Q2 to gain ground. Isik though, after that strong start, goes into the extra route.
So Isik going to punch the joker card early. Going back up front, it is Ministo with a few car links over Hookah in the 2nd spot. Hookah now trying to chase down the leader, Ministo. Number 48 there, that is Antilla in the mix as well, into the 3rd spot. Isik there getting around Kangasaho. So Isik after the joker really trying to battle back. The only driver so far that's had it, making a move there over Kangasaho.
Big jump from Ministo sideways, the fastest to track speed at any point this weekend. You can really see that from the attitude of the cars over the jump. Ministo's going to go again, as is Hookah. In part, this is about a fight for the overall time. Antilla takes the joker this time around. Kangasaho goes in as well in the background. Antilla side by side. Beaver will have the inside line for the next corner. Good job from Alex Antilla in the older of the speed car chassis in this race. Oh, Ministo gets all out of shape. Ministo's broken front right suspension on the leader's machine.
Oh, look at that, just trying to hold on. Got one more lap to go. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold on that long, but a tough break there from Ministo. Hookah, at some point you would think it's going to inherit the lead, but Ministo continuing to push.
What a job this is from Ministo, running the car over the curb on the inside. We'll try and cover off on the inside over the jump. Hookah will be wary of getting involved here. I said Ministo wasn't in danger for the top qualified position, but now goes straight on. This could be absolutely disastrous for the championship leader. Into the joker lap goes Yera Hookah. Ministo really doesn't need to be in the joker with that broken suspension. It's going to be hard to get through. Great job from Ministo. Let's look at the qualifying points. Antilla, who is at the front of this race, was only 14 qualifying points behind. If Ministo really struggles to get to the end of this one, this could be a change of position in the qualifying standings. I think that's unlikely, to be honest, given that Ministo's still going in the background. Antilla will drive for the line. Time to beat, bottom left of your screen, 2:41.4. 2:43.2, it's not enough. I think Ministo will hold on to the top qualifier position despite that broken front right suspension. What a brilliant job from the young Finn to drag that car to the end, Jim.
Yeah, he did it with a full lap and a half to go. I thought the car would be done and somehow hung on there as Ministo did get the whole shot in this one. Hookah in the 2nd spot, sitting back there early on, trying to make some moves.
They're clobbing that curb so hard now. It's really exposed the end of that curb, isn't it, on that left-hander going down the hill. I wonder if we'll see where Ministo broke the suspension. This is Antilla and Isik side by side. And then we just saw Hookah. Well, I think it's already broken at that stage.
Yeah, it was already broken. It didn't help there, but
we saw Hookah applying the pressure hard to the back of Ministo. What a brilliant job Ministo did to drag that car to the end.
Then goes into the rough, didn't let off, and somehow those cross cars generally get into that soft and it just buries, and he stayed in the gas, and what a great job to just manhandle that car to the finish.
8th overall in the time, not even the slowest time. Ahead of Mane didn't finish, so yeah, fair enough. Ministo is 8th overall, 5th in that one. Antilla is Hookah. Kangasaho was the finishing order in that race. P2 Mathalamaki, though, fights back massively from that puncture early on to take the fastest time in Q3.
All right, so now moving into cross car, we got Bomanis, who has shown some signs of brilliance this weekend. Just hadn't been able to put it all together. We got Tree, Eek Merstad, and Ministo in this one, so 4 very capable drivers. So we're looking to go green. We're getting things checked on here. We're looking for Vettel Tree there in the second spot. Had some very fast starts so far this weekend as well.
Wonder if we're waiting for Ministo's car to be gathered up if it wasn't possible to get it back to the paddock, but no, we're good to go.
Everybody being checked on, last minute checks. All right, looking for the light to go out. All right, looks like Bomanis, a little edge over Vettel Tree. It is going to be Bomanis into the first corner, Vettel Tree, Eek Merstad, and then it's going to be Ministo in the 4th spot.
First time looks to the inside of Vettel Tree. When they exit the first corner, looks to the outside now. I'd suggest first time's going Joker this time around, looking at the attitude of the car, but again, they can't risk it because the pace difference between them and Ministo is just that little bit big at the moment. First side looks to the inside. Tree's dropped it in the right-hander. They've all got tucked up behind. Merstad desperate to get going. Tree over the grass first. Ministo also stuck there in the background, drives over the grass, she's away as well. Shame for Vettel Tree.
That's tough. Oh, look at that. Just having all kinds of problems with that car. Something broken
front left suspension there on the Ministo machine.
Well, you go over that edge, and I mean, it's almost, you know, I would say, he's almost going to use probably, you know, quarter of a meter drop.
Handed a golden opportunity here to Yannis Bomanis, who surely will joke at this time around just to cover off track position. Merstad on a charge behind compatriot Vettel Tree, bodywork flapping. Yep, Bomanis has been in indeed. I would have mixed it up if I was Merstad and gone in and avoided being behind Vettel Tree for that duration. Wonder if there's any damage to the side of Tree's machine, given that he was impacted from the side by Merstad. Merstad was just stuck there, couldn't get any further. Ministo gets out of the car.
Battle here for second is Tree and Eek Merstad. Bomanis already taking the Joker, just a commanding lead on this one. Just going to phone it in for the rest of this. Right now it's going to be the battle for second though. Tree getting some pressure from Merstad. Oh, look at that. Off is Bomanis.
Puncture left rear for Bomanis.
Wow. The minute I say he's got it
and
in the
left
bag.
rear for Vettel Tree as well. I wonder if there's a hole formed on the circuit somewhere that's causing the punctures. Merstad around the outside. Maybe they're just landing sideways over the jump. We saw that in the past here as well, Jim. If you land too aggressively over the jump, you can't push the bead off.
Wow, so right now, Merstad trying to run down Bomanis into this final corner. Is there going to be enough time? Merstad really trying to put some pressure on Bomanis. Not going to have enough time. Bomanis going to take home the victory. Merstad, the only driver on track with all tires.
That was action-packed, wasn't it? Vettel Tree dragging the car to the end. Just hear from in our cans, there isn't a trackside microphone down there, but you can just hear
look where
the wheels rubbing on the ground. Bomanis there with a puncture. You can see the wheel arch. I think that's from Merstad from earlier on in the contact. So I think we're going to see some of these jump replays. I asked the truck if they could dig them out on the EVS machine, the replay machine, which is not easy to do, is it? To turn that around that quickly. Great job by the TV crew working on Rallyx this year. But I think, Jim, because they're left rears, they're probably just landing sideways in the weight of the car. And they haven't been in that situation all weekend because it was wet yesterday morning in the couple of practice sessions. It was wet this morning again. So this is the first time these drivers are experiencing that. Let's have a look back at the replays.
Bomanis with the hole shot there. That was a spin by Vettel Tree.
That's what broke Ministo's suspension, was just into the rear of Merstad. Shame for her, but they'll get that fixed on the Casmat. And then later on, so we've missed the jump landing, but that's let's look at the background. No, you couldn't quite see there either, but I think both Bomanis and Tree have done a similar thing on the same lap to get the two D beads, but Yep, we'll have to see.
Well, they're hitting that jumper faster this afternoon than they have all weekend long with weather, and I think you're right with the left rear, and you know the way that lands, you land right on the left rear. It's got to be the spot on the track that's causing that. Bomanis still able to take away top honors there. Ingmerstad in the second spot. Vetteltree going to settle for third. So you've got the Scoop of Doom claiming yet another victim.
This is a replay of some of the jumps. Didn't quite see it off that drone shot there. Came to it a little bit late.
Could have been there though, because you saw the fender, you know, fly off.
Oh, this is a great shot. So this is Merstead chasing down Vetteltree. I think their manager's already had an issue ahead. Slowed down as well. So Vettel's gonna jump. Yeah,
yep.
That's exactly where the tyre went. So it is on the jump landings. Those two drivers having almost identical problems at the same moment. Thank you to the guys in the truck and producer Calla for getting that sorted in super quick time. The tyres are so exposed on the cross cars as well, aren't they? Because the whole weight of the car's on that outside wall of the tyre.
Now we're going to see if spotters are doing their job and going to relay information to the drivers on this one. Yilame there on the inside, Isiksetra, Huka, Rosemom, and Savedlin. Savedlin all the way on the outside in P5. That's going to be an interesting one to watch. Savedlin had some very quick starts here. See if he can make something happen from that spot.
Isiksetra though with the best of the starts in the run to the first corner. Great job from the Norwegian, followed by Gyulilami. Rosemom and Svedlin side by side over the jump. Gyulilami's form's been so up and down this year, hasn't it? Been on the top step of the podium and you've been fighting in the traffic as well.
Rosemom up through the Joker. Resume behind Savedlin.
Fastest in Q2 earlier on was Gyulilami in that topsy-turvy session. Svedlin currently top of the order by a single point from the Finnish drivers. This is almost a winner-takes-all. Hukar still with a chance of being top qualifier as well. He's etc. is out of that fight to a degree. 8 points behind Svedlin in the qualifying rankings. Gyulilami though, if he can maintain second and Svedlin down in fourth, would give Gyulilami the TQ, pole position for semi-final one later on.
I think we're going to see Savedlin possibly take it. Yep, and we see Savedlin as well as Rika Huka taking the Joker on that one. Rosemom now going to inherit the third spot.
Good job from Rosemom. Good push lap. Hukar's going to look to the inside, but Rosemom will be able to carry the momentum around the outside. Nothing that Hukar can do. Currently in the Swedish sandwich. Flames popping from the back of the Hoffman Motorsport machine for Rosemom. Svedlin wide in the background.
Not often we see Savedlin back in the fifth spot, especially with both of the two drivers directly ahead of him already taking Jokers. So this is going to be a tough spot for Savedlin. He's going to want to try and create some track position. Looks like our two leaders may have the group covered.
Oh, Rosemom's dropped it. Too much curb on the inside. Rotates the rear round. Disastrous for Hukar and Svedlin behind. Going to lose out badly. They do clear Rosemom, but they've lost out. Rosemom's broken front right suspension. Shame. After such a minor error. Up front though, Isiksetra's chasing the time overall of Baumanis, who won the last one, but of course Baumanis had that DB. So this should be the best time. We don't have the previous best time on the screen at the moment. Isiksetra though takes it with a 2:30.2.
Rosemom holding on there.
Fastest time of the weekend for Älvsbyn Isiksetra, the driver that won the final yesterday in convincing style.
Get a replay here. Isiksetra getting the whole shot there. Up through that second corner. Rosemom here. Over Rika Huka. There's where Rosemom clipped that inside curb. Oh, it was a contact there with Hookah that ended up causing the damage after Rosemom had already spun.
Collateral damage from already dropping it. You can't blame that on Hookah,
No.
can you? He's just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, no place for Hookah to go when the car spun in front of him. So just tough break there for Rosemom as East Etc. taking home the victory here. Yalame in the second spot. Hookah holding on for third. Svedland fourth, and Rosemom some almost 30 seconds back there to finish up in fifth. Moving on to open two-wheel drive. This is race number one. We'll have 3 qualifying heats here. Fahlgren, Norman, Mortzel, and Lundqvist. Fahlgren, very competitive in that last session in Q2. Gonna see if Fahlgren can put something together here. Norman been very fast as well. Mortzel been fun to watch. Lundqvist had a couple of spins so far today, so we're gonna see if Lundqvist can keep it together in this one and be competitive in it. Norman with a hole shot out front.
Lundqvist had some brake problems earlier today, which caused a couple of spins. Now under pressure from Fahlgren up the bank into the jump. Does maintain the position though. Good job from her to shut the door. Norman though had that mistake earlier on in that very corner and lost out. Much dry conditions now though, doing a good job in the Mercedes.
Lundqvist going to take the Joker from the second spot. And look at that, resuming to the back of the field right on the bumper of Mortzel. Fahlgren in the mix. Great use of the Joker by Lundqvist. Now if she can get around some of this traffic, might have a shot there at Norman.
All about overall time though, isn't it? And being at the back of this train will lose out. Oh, Fahlgren's dropped it at the bottom of this straight. Wonder if there's a puncher. Mortzel right up onto the bank as well. That won't do his time any favours at all. Lundqvist is through.
This came in way too hot, pushed way high on that. Norman now taking advantage of this with a big gap over Fahlgren in second.
Been given a reprieve, has Norman. I wonder if you try and get in now just to make the most of the odd.
That car's got something going on.
Off on the outside. Norman doesn't joker at this time around. Mortzel does, having been all over the shop in the last lap or so.
Yeah, Mortzel just struggling here in this qualifying session number 3. Had a great run in 2, but not being able to put it together here. Norman, the one that is putting it together. Fahlgren chasing. Our top 2 drivers going to have to take the Joker this next time by. We're going to see if Lundqvist has got any kind of speed to be able to cover this gap. I think she's got a shot at Fahlgren. I think Norman's too far ahead at this point.
The gap between Lundqvist and Norman, 3.2. Yeah, Norman's got plenty in hand here, I think, Jim.
To be watching Fahlgren and Lundqvist here. Fahlgren going to take the Joker. Lundqvist, we can see if she can cover on the bumper of Fahlgren, doing exactly what she needed to do. I think she's going to have a shot at Fahlgren here. She's going to come through. Almost had a shot at Norman. Wow. Great. Oh, look at that. She's going to get around Norman.
You can hear Norman's car on the throttle from here in the commentary position. They're 3 wide in the right hander. Norman in a sandwich. Gets the power down. What great racing from open two-wheel drive. Oh, they're side by side going down the hill. Lundqvist gets squeezed to the inside by Fahlgren.
Lundqvist looking at the bottom. Had a shot there, just got shuffled to the outside, nowhere to go. Now we've got him bumper to bumper to bumper down the stretch. Fahlgren going to make a move. Norman with a problem at the stripe.
Well, has he just lifted for the finish? No, he hasn't. You're right. He did stop earlier. Oh, no, I hope that isn't a big problem for Marcus Norman. If he pulls off to the left now, we'll know that it's perhaps significant. Didn't quite see that.
Well, that was an eventful one, and unfortunate for Norman, who led from the start, putting in a phenomenal race. Fahlgren there with an off. Then we had Mortzel with a couple of offs in this one as well. As you see here, just up into the rough, almost over the entire embankment. I don't think we've seen that yet this weekend. Way too hot. Here we've got a look at Mortzel once again out in the rough, down through the swamp. Got the mud. Wipers being put to good use in this one. And here's where it gets interesting. This was Lundqvist. Briefly took the lead over Norman. They come into this corner, then they go 3 wide. Fahlgren dropping to the bottom. Little contact there with Norman. So Fahlgren drops to third, then powers past Lundqvist. Norman, you thought, had it in the bag. All of a sudden on the stretch, he loses something in the car, and it allows Fahlgren and Lundqvist to get by. So our leader the entire race to the last 50 meters was Norman, ends up in third place. So it's Fahlgren, Lundqvist, Norman, and Mortzel.
Desperately looking out of the commentary box window to see, no, Norman is getting recovered on a rope. It's been going so well for Marcus Norman so far this weekend after such a dismal time of late. The track machine's cleaning the tyre clean area in the background.
All right, here in this one, got another session of open two-wheel drive. Got Tiger on the inside, Stenvall, Oman, Gunnarsson, and Ackerland, excuse me, on the outside. So Tiger on the pole. He's had an interesting day. It's like feast or famine for Simon Tiger today. Seems like he's either been up front or all the way in the back. Stenvall been very fast this weekend. Lights out. We're going to see a trio of orange cars in this one. Tiger, Stenvall, and Oman. And Tiger with a big hole shot there. It's going to be Oman in the second spot. Stenvall into the third spot, Ackerland into fourth, Gunnarsson, who's been very fast this weekend and efficient, into the fifth spot as well. Tiger going to take us down into this tight corner. Everybody on the brakes. Going to see who's going to take the Joker. Nobody. Oh, we got Gunnarsson taking the Joker from the fifth spot. Get that one out of the way. Smart using the Joker from him. Going to try and power back through.
So update for all the Marcus Norman fans out there who is being towed back through the paddock, but the engine is running. That's critical because they've had so many engine issues in that car of late. I suspect it's maybe broken something in the drivetrain, which is a shame, but much more salvageable than the issue they have with the engine so far. So let's hope they can get that fixed for the semi-finals. Meanwhile, Stenvall is applying the pressure hard to the rear of Oman, whose bodywork smokes the tyres on the exit of the final corner. Simon Tiger leaning on the left rear tyres so hard. Oman in chase.
All right, 2 laps to go here. Simon Tiger leading him in, and yeah, the bodywork on Oman is continuing to cause smoke. You hope it doesn't cut a tire at some point. And we're going to see Stenvall and Ackerland both take the Joker this time by.
A lot of understeer for Stenvall over the hill there in the Joker section. Of course, that extra route didn't exist the last time Top Flight Rallycross came here in 1994, prior to Rallyx coming back just a few years ago.
All right, so this is going to be interesting, this last lap, with both our 2 leaders going to have to take the Joker. Stenvall well within striking distance, sitting in the third spot. Going to try and get a run here in the next couple of corners. I think he's got a shot there to get around Oman. I don't know if there's going to be enough time to get around Simon Tiger, who's ridiculously fast out here.
Tiger's just too quick, I think. Orbo has dropped a 2.5 seconds on his best time last time around. Runs wide, does Oman. Out of the first corner on a wild ride. Tiger's been caught a bit here, isn't he, in the BMW?
All right, so we've got both Tiger and Oman through. We got Stenvall now pushing. Is Stenvall going to make it? Oh, side by side with Tiger, not enough there. Tiger takes the lead. Back, Stenvall in a second. Oman off, looks like getting stuck out in the fluff. So it's going to be Ackerland taking over the third spot.
Great respect from these two to give each other the racing room at the Joker merge. Tiger lost a lot of time, 1.3 seconds on the previous lap, so I didn't see a time loss of that order, but still remains at the front here. He's going to stop the clock, and the time is going to be a 2:41.3, fastest of the session so far after that fight for Fahlgren with Norman in the previous one. Fastest time so far for Tiger, 2:41.3 is also the fastest time of the weekend by the tune of 0.2 of a second. But you could assume, Jim, that the times in the next session, or the next race of this Q3 session, are going to be that bit quicker. Did anything happen to Tiger? Because watching back on these replays, Stenvall right up on 2 wheels there on the curb. This is the final lap, isn't it? Good respect by these two. Tiger didn't shut the door hard into the curb. Stenvall also stayed over to the left to avoid contact. Oman came in hot around the outside of fellow local Ackerland and just couldn't get it stopped. through the puddle, into the mud, and around she went.
Brings us to our results for race number 2. Simon Tiger on top, Stenval, Ackerland, Oman, Gunnarsson, your top 5 in that one. Means we've got one more session here for our open 2-wheel drive. This is race number 3, qualifying session number 3. This is a big one. Gabrielson, Nee, Johansson, Westman, Lidman. I have no idea on this one. All 5 drivers capable of a whole shot here. It looks like Westman, oh, wow, a bump there into the number 10 of Lidman. I don't know, Lidman slid off into the fluff there, but it's going to be Gabrielson with a whole shot.
Victor Johansson bailed out of that early, could see some drama coming. Class of the field this weekend results-wise. Lucas Gabrielson at the front of the order, but John Nee's been super quick here so far today into the Joker for Nee this time around, followed by Westman, leaving Gabrielson to run up front. Gabrielson took 2 fastest times yesterday, was second quickest in Q1 this morning, fastest overall in Q2. He's in a good position here, the championship leader. Lidman currently second in the points, is parked on the start-finish straight after that spin. This is going to open the door for Johnny as well, who's right in that championship fight.
Yeah, Lidman, you see out of the car, not happy. One person that is happy, lifting the tire down the front stretch. Gabrielson, just absolutely a rocket ship.
Understeer from the little starlet rather than sending it in on leading on the rear axle. 49.9 first time around for Gabrielson. That's a super solid lap time.
Victor Johansson going to go through the Joker, going to cede that position to Nee. We're going to see if we can get back through. It's going to be close with Westman. Victor Johansson hangs on to the 3rd spot.
So long is the wheelbase on the Mercedes. Very rarely do you see it broad sideways, especially on tarmac, but comes out behind Nee. Gabrielson just taking a little cut, as is Nee. Johansson steers wide of that little rut on the inside that can help to turn the car. Sometimes just dropping that inside wheel into a bit of the track furniture can drag you around. Those old school curbs at the bottom of the lap as well can give you a little bit of grief. This is all about Lucas Gabrielson. Fastest lap of the race so far for Johnny, 49.6 in the background. He's taken half a second out of Gabrielson. This is going to be close at the merge.
All right, Gabrielson going to take the Joker here. Johnny through, Victor Johansson through. It's going to be close here.
Gabrielson around the outside, gives a lot of room. Nee runs to the exit. Through the puddle goes Gabrielson.
Victor Johansson able to capitalize on that as well. So Gabrielson back to the 3rd spot. John Nee with the lead. Is Victor Johansson in 2nd?
That was critical because Gabrielson and Nee were tied on qualifying points coming into this Q3 race. 95 points apiece. Tiger 15 points behind, so this will secure Johnny the top qualifying spot here in round 6 of Rallyx North 2026. Johnny, the TQ man, we're delighted with that, having been fastest in time practice this morning, a 2:39.4. Also substantially quicker than Tiger went on a 2:41.3 to take the fastest time in Q3. A pair of fastest times for Nee today. There was Lidman getting fired off at the start. Let's have a look back at that. Westman's come over too early. You can see the lines on the track. He shut the door on Johansson, steered back out of it in fairness, trying to keep out of the trouble, but then has gone into Lidman, on the outside.
You wonder if there's going to be a penalty assessed there to Westman at some point. As Gabrielson getting pushed to the outside, Johnny clinching that one. All right, so got a look at this. We had Johnny and Gabrielson there, side by side. Gabrielson into the wet. It allowed Victor Johansson to get around as well, as it was a drag race to the finish. Gabrielson leading most of that one, had to settle for 3rd.
Let's have a quick chat with Rallyx Nettis, race director, up in race control as we see confirmation of the results. Rallyx, a bit of contact away from the start. Lidman obviously lost out badly. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it's car number 8, 3-second penalty for changing line from the start. They were not over the white lines and he crossed the lines and caused the collision. So yeah, that's the only penalty I see there. Our fortunate one car left on the side of the track, but not much I can do more.
So car number 8 is Linus Westman, and as I said, came across the white line there, Jim, onto Victor Johansson. Johansson's moved across. In fairness to Westman, he's tried to get out of that, realising he's gone across, and then collected Libman. I don't think that's malicious, but yeah, for sure, has gone across the line and then gone back. So thank you, Raiders. Good insight. Raiders has had a relatively quiet weekend, but that could all turn around as of now, couldn't it? So we'll see how the rest of the day unfolds.
So I believe Westman will be shuffled back to 4th in that one because of that incident. So yeah, it's going to change up the order there just briefly. As we have supercar lights on the line, we got Janssen, Holmquist, and Haug in this one. Josefin Holmquist been very fast this weekend. See if she can put one together here. It's going to be Janssen with the whole shot. No, look at that. Holmquist all the way to the bottom. Whoa!
Oh, Haug got the curb into the side of Janssen. They all get away with it. Haug looked racy, didn't he, away from the line. Shot in the door on Holmquist to start with. Janssen lucky to get away with that.
That was a little chaos here. Very chaotic in this one. So Haug going, you know what? I think I'm going to take the Joker on this first lap. I've had enough of excitement already. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Maybe a potential right rear puncture for Haug as well. Looking at the tyre, was it just leaning on the sidewall? Sometimes so difficult to tell with the profile of the tyres on the lights cars. Let's have a look if we can see. Yeah, I think it might be a right rear puncture because it's so
he's
sideways.
all over the place. Yeah, he's going to try and hold on. Only 3 in this one. He should stay out of harm's way and try and get it around with only a couple laps left. But
tell me you've cut a track marker without telling me you've cut a track marker when it's stuck to the front of your lights machine like it is in Haug's case.
Oh, it looked like that was part of the fender there, blowing off.
It's the rear quarter protector. There is the that's the track marker attached to Haug's car. You can hear the tyre and the wheels scrabbling around for traction in the background. Super sideways is the lights machine for the Norwegian.
All right, so now what to watch for is we've got Josefin Holmquist in the 2nd spot, going to try and narrow the gap to Janssen in the lead. Janssen still having to take on this final lap his Joker, so we're going to see if Josefin Holmquist can narrow the gap. Right now, I don't think she's got enough time, but she's got about half a lap to try and push.
Janssen on a 59-second dead last time around. Took over a second out of his best lap. I think he's going to do just about enough to hang on to the lead in this one. To the Joker route. Holmquist is close, to be fair, in the OMC machine.
Looked like she had a little bit of oversteer there. They're going to come in. It's going to be close. Oh, a little tap.
Bit of contact between the two. She stayed right up the curve.
Oh,
she's inside in the right-hander, forces the way through.
Wow, elbows out there for Josefin Holmquist, taking over the lead there from Janssen.
Runs wide. I wonder if she's damaged the steering in that move, or if it was just the wheels flapping around a bit on the right-hand side, or is she just managing the steering wheel up the hill? She's going to take the race win.
Wow, Josefin
38.4.
Holmquist with the win. Janssen 2nd, Haug 3rd. I don't know, is that a call for Rallyx? I mean, I don't know. That was kind of an abusive hit there.
The door was open, wasn't it? I think to a degree. We've seen moves like that throughout the weekend. Be interesting to see what comes of that. We'll keep an eye on the timing screen as we watch the replays. This is the first bit of drama in this race, was Haug being super optimistic in the first corner, goes to the inside, massive chunk of curb, actually was just a total passenger because he'd hit the curb head on, was fully in the air. Watch this. Bosh.
Squared it up. Oh my Lord. He's lucky Janssen was there to cushion the blow.
Yeah, and that's the puncture, that's the tyre coming off. I thought it was punctured early on.
Well, that's going to make a great photograph, let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's hope someone was on the outside of the first corner. And then later on, this is the Joker merge. This is Janssen coming around the outside of Holmquist. They have a tiny bit of contact here. Now, what happened in this? Okay, the door wasn't open at all. He's already on the curb. So I wonder if, you're right, Jim, I wonder if Rallyx will have a look at that, because the door was being opened and it's gone off the timing screen, so we can't see.
Josefin Holmquist, top honors as far as we know, Janssen and Haug. Going to move on to another round of Supercar Lights. Mads Larsen there in the number 1 spot. Oscarsson, excuse me. Darvik and Lindquist in this one. Mads Larsen on a burner in Q2, ran away with things. So we're going to see if Mads Larsen can keep the momentum rolling here into Q3. Class of the field last group, though, was Mads Larsen. Larsen all the way to the inside. Darvik a little contact with Lindquist.
Lindquist bails out of it. Living to fight another day is important at this stage of the weekend. Running 4th at the moment. Larsen, though, great job. It's coming of age this weekend is Mads Larsen under the stewardship of Ulrik Linnemann.
Darvik going to jump in, take the Joker. Lindquist going to take the 3rd spot. So now your running order is Mads Larsen, Oscarsson, and Lindquist.
This is really winner takes all between Darvik, Larsen, and Lindquist for the top qualified position, because the points are weighted towards being the fastest. Larsen, though, doing exactly what he needs to do. Currently has a 2-point margin over Lindquist in the intermediate classification.
All right, so currently leading it is Mads Larsen, followed by Oscarsson. Lindquist in this one. All right, so it is going to be Lindquist taking the Joker. Going to get that one out of the way. Darvik already taken it a lap previous. So it's going to be Larsen continuing to lead. Oscarsson, so our lead 2 cars are both going to have to take the Joker this next time by. We're going to see if Darvik's got enough speed to be able to narrow the gap and move up a position. All right, so they're going to run here into this final corner. Lindquist getting on the rear bumper there of Darvik. So it's going to be Larsen and Oscarsson, our 2 leaders. Pretty good gap on the rest of the field. They're both going to have to take the Joker. Oh, big exuberant slide there by Darvik's going to allow Lindquist to narrow the gap to Darvik. Both those 3rd and 4th place drivers have taken the Joker.
This is really close between Darvik and Larsen, the 2 Danes, but I think Larsen's done enough. Great job from the Linnemann promotion driver. News in from race control is that Haig was given a black flag in that previous race, presumably for the first corner incident, Jim, and Humphries was given a 5-second penalty for her part in that move at the end of the race, but that isn't going to trouble any of these drivers. Larsen, with the fastest lap of the day so far on a 48.5, is going to drive towards the line. Mads Larsen stops the clock.
Great effort by Larsen. Just
we haven't got the total time on the screen at the moment, but a great job by Larsen. Surely that would be quickest, especially with the drama that happened in the previous run. So another fastest time, top qualifier position.
Well, you got to think Mads Larsen going into the semifinals and finals got to be one of the favorites today, showing a lot of speed, just dominating efforts in Q2 and Q3 out here. Mads Larsen's making his presence known. Darvik taking home 2nd spot, just about a second back. Lindquist 3rd. Oscarsson in the 4th spot.
6 seconds faster, colour producer tells me, was Larsen over the winner from the previous race, which will actually be Janssen, I think, given the penalties applied. So solid job from Larsen, and as you say, brilliant day for him so far. You've got to convert that, though. So many times in the history of this discipline we've seen qualifying performances come unravelled come the semi-finals and finals. There's a lot of work still to do if you want to be at the front this afternoon.
All right, so Nason not in this one. Darvik, Cerna, and Nason supposed to be in this. Nason with the penalty in the last one, so it's going to be Cerna with that car back together, and Darvik going to have a 2-car shootout here.
Darvik sideways in the opening corner, hangs onto it nicely, just covered off Cerna.
Let's see if Cerna takes the Joker early here.
100% will take the Joker this time around. Jarmo Voster on the radio calls the correct strategy to get Cerna in and out of the compulsory extra route, and now it's all about just trying to hammer down the lap times yourself. As you say, missing Nason from this one. Good job from the OMSC crew to get that rear suspension fixed up on Cerna's car. The lunch break helped with that, just to give them a little bit more time.
All right, so Darvik leading Cerna. Cerna has taken the Joker. I think you're going to see Darvik possibly wait until the third lap to take the Joker.
Yeah, just running clear air. I think that's the most sensible thing for both of them. It worked for Darvik last time, didn't it, to get up to 5th best time, and he'll know that Robert Cerna's got great pace, been really competitive this year, has Robert Cerna, so the sensible thing to do is to just run on your own, try and hit your marks, execute everything you can to get the best time.
I was talking with Cerna at lunch, able to catch up with him and ate with him, and he was telling me, I said, the big difference in his driving from Oxford to here, and he says the biggest thing is, he goes, I'm feeling comfortable in the car. He says, I didn't want to push when I wasn't comfortable in the car, and he goes, now I'm really feeling comfortable in the car, and I feel like I can push and be more aggressive.
Such a mental game, motorsport, isn't it? Even if you've got the ability to be on the limit and be pushing hard, sometimes you just need to get the right feeling to be able to do that consistently into the Joker. This time around, Darvik has been running well in this race, in fairness. He's going to drop down to 2nd, but he's right there with Cerna. Darvik, who was another one of the rookies this year in this category, has been a bit overlooked given the performance of the drivers like Anderson and Cerna, but doing a solid job here is Darvik.
Cerna with 1 corner to go. It's going to take a mistake here for him to see this one. Nice and clean through a big sweeping right-hander, going to run down here to the finish. It is going to be Cerna, closely followed by Darvik at the finish. It's got to feel real good for Cerna after the mishap in Q2. So Cerna comes back, and Darvik with a whole shot. Cerna battling early.
It's gone very dark outside the commentary position, and all of a sudden your sun's gone, Jim. And
sun's gone.
I think we could be pending a bit more rain,
which is going to shake things up drastically for the semifinals. This is Cerna getting around Darvik there as Darvik took the Joker on the final lap. Cerna able to seal the deal, cross the finish line. Darvik closely behind. So Romet Cerna, top spot. Darvik, Nason not able to make it to the start line. Hopefully we see Nason in the semifinals. That brings us to another group. This is going to be a loaded group here for our supercar class, FC2s, also open four-wheel drive. We refer to it as all three at times, but it is Ericsson, Anderson, and Oman in this one. It was like Ollie Eriksson on the inside. Kevin Eriksson going to get into a big slide, seal it in front of his brother. So it's going to be Kevin Eriksson followed by Oliver Eriksson.
Finally today, Kevin Eriksson gets out front. He's had such a weekend fighting in traffic, and when he has been out front, there's been a couple of little mistakes, but massive composure, and that laid down a gauntlet, didn't it, in the first corner. Lucas Anderson jokers this time around. Kevin was not letting that go in turn one, sent the car sideways, blocked the way for everyone else, including his little brother Oliver. No, the two Eriksson brothers run up front. So tough for Kevin Eriksson to be driving a car at this level while also trying to help run the event, run the series, look after the team. He's got a lot on his plate. He does, the former Wilder X event winner, and yeah, I think it takes a little while to get back into the driving mindset as well. Got his young kids here with him this weekend. They absolutely love seeing their dad at the wheel of this car.
You know, talking with Kevin this morning also, he said, you know, he goes, it took me yesterday to get comfortable. Kind of the same thing Cern was talking. He goes,
the
I
rain's
had to blow
coming.
the rust off.
The rain's coming. Look at that camera lens, Jim.
All right, so it's going to get moist here really quick. As look at that, Oliver Eriksson takes the Joker, is able to get back in front of Lucas Anderson for the second spot. So the only driver yet to take the Joker is going to be our leader, Kevin Eriksson. He's going to have to take it on the final lap. He's going to have his younger brother Oliver really pushing on this lap.
This is a battle between Ollie Eriksson and Lucas Anderson for the TQ position. Important for championship points. These two fighting at the head of the championship order at the moment, but also important for pole in semi-final one. Kevin Eriksson on a charge at the front of the order, followed by the two behind, but it's raining pretty hard now in the paddock. This won't be helping the traction for these FC2 machines. You can still hear the tyre squeal. It's just okay to be on dries at the moment. Ollie Eriksson on the inside.
It's going to be close. It's going to be Eriksson and Eriksson. Oliver going to get in front of his brother Kevin.
Great job from Ollie Eriksson. Brilliant lap after the joke. Anderson with the wipers on, just nibbles a bit of curb, but Ollie Eriksson clearly feeling very comfortable in these conditions. It's a bit more slippery now. Ollie Eriksson has the most experience of anybody in these cars, and clearly that's so valuable when the conditions start to change again.
So here at the finish line, it's going to be Oliver Eriksson in front of Kevin Eriksson.
2:28.3 to beat. The time is a 2:27.4. Fastest time for Oliver Eriksson. Is going to secure him the top qualifier position. Anderson led until this point, but Eriksson going fastest for the second session in a row. After losing out at the start, he's going to be top qualifier, the championship leader.
And that was there when had Anderson and Oman taking the Joker early. That was Oliver Eriksson threading the needle right there in front of Anderson. Kevin Eriksson taking the Joker. Oliver Eriksson just able to slip past his older brother, and at the finish it was Oliver Eriksson followed by Kevin Eriksson, who up until that point had one of the fastest laps of the weekend.
Confirmation of the results. Eriksson, Oliver, Eriksson, Kevin, Lucas Anderson and Adam Oman wrap up qualifying here, round 6 of Rallyx North in Älvsbyn. We are taking a very short break. We will back at 13:35 local time. That's 7 minutes or there or thereabouts. See you soon.
All right, we are back here, and it is about to get real. We got semifinals and finals yet to come this afternoon as we get our cross-car juniors lined up for this first of 2 semifinals for this division. We'll be taking 3 to the finals later on, so 3 going to be the magical number. Qualifying's in the books, and now everything counts. You've got to be in that top 3 or you're going home early, and nobody wants to do that. Looks like we've got Ministo and Matlamaki on the front row. We got Huka and Tovio there in row number 2, and Mane, who has had some struggles this weekend, in the 5th spot. So this is a stacked group here. I think really just about anybody can take one of those top 3 spots. So going to be interesting to see Ministo and Matlamaki on the front row. I think this could be quite the battle here.
I agree. It can be really good. And the rain stopped as well, hasn't it? So the track got a little bit slippery. Now it stopped again. So if you did have a tyre strategy, that would be all. Look at the angle. Look at the camber on Tovio's front right wheel there relative to the other cars on the front row. I wonder if that's damage or if that's part of the setup, NASCAR style.
All right, so it's got Ministo and Matlamaki. Looks like Ministo going to take the lead. Matlamaki going to be in the 2nd spot. 47, that is Jerry Huka into the 3rd spot. Going to be Tovio and Mane. As Ministo continuing to lead here, get a little pressure there from Matlamaki.
Disastrous start for Tovio, has to joke at this time around. Matlamaki is piling the pressure on to championship leader Ministo. Matlamaki with a fight back drive today after that puncture in Q2.
Now Huka getting in the mix as well. We're going to have a 3-way battle here for the lead. Right now it is Ministo leading though. Matlamaki continuing to put that pressure on. A little bit of a breather there for Ministo. Matlamaki lifting a tire going into that corner, hitting that inside curb. Now Matlamaki starting to get some pressure from Jerry Huka. It is anybody's race up front. We have a breakout pack with these 3 leaders, Ministo, Matlamaki, and Huka.
This is all about what Tovio can do in the background, isn't it? Matlamaki's car skips over the jump. Huka, Barrington, oh, big jump there for Tovio. I'm sure the tyre just went down on the car at the back. Can we have a look?
Yeah, he was
see
sliding.
the red car at the back. I'm sure the tyre went down over the jump. Struggling for pace is the 66. Yep, the tyre's down. You saw in the background the puff of air as he just landed with all the weight on the rear tyre. Tovio's weekend is done. No way you're making it through to the final unless there's disaster for those the front 3 in this race.
All right, so up front now we've still got Ministo leading, followed by Matlamaki. This has been the battle. It looks like Huka, who took the Joker, drops back a little bit. So we're going to see if Huka can factor back into this. Going to try and have a really good push lap here with 3 to go. Try and get back into this thing. Huka wanting to take that top spot.
Importantly though, through to the final, so you can't afford to throw it away at this juncture. Huka needs to play a little bit safe. Matlamaki though wants that front row, because if he can force Ministo onto row 2 of the final later on, that'll be really important for his title potential. You can hear the tyres scrabbling.
Oh, look
the
at that.
wheel on the tarmac of Tovio, the young Finn.
Tovio just trying to hold on here, hoping something eventful happens out front. It hasn't so far. So Ministo leading Matlamaki. Got a little bit of space now between the two. Don't forget, we've got Hookah there in the third spot, already taking the Joker.
Tovio using all of that motocross experience now. He's used to only 2 wheels, so 3 should be plenty to get around, but it's not going to be enough, is it, for the Finnish driver at the bottom of the order. Matlamaki surely Jokers this time around to try and mix up the strategy. Does indeed go in. You can see it's the attitude of the car. Gets
there's a problem with Hookah.
Perfect for Matlamaki. Hookah's had a problem on the exit of the corner. Matlamaki out into a comfortable second position, but Benisto has set the fastest lap of the race so far.
Tough break for Hookah. Looked like a missed shift or something there. Just a bobble enough in a spot where you don't want it to happen is when the other driver's going into the Joker. So Benisto now with a commanding lead over Matlamaki. Still going to have to take the Joker here on this last lap. Hookah dropping back to a distant third now with that small problem there as the other drivers took the Joker.
This is all about a front row starting
is that
spot
a flat
for the
starting
final.
to happen there on our leader, Benisto? Looked like that left rear starting to cause some problems.
You're right, Jim. Looks flat to me as well. Oh, and Matlamaki's got a left rear flat as well. Have they all DB'd tyres in this one? Matlamaki can't do anything about Benisto at the front of the order. Yeah, you're right. Benisto has got a flat left rear, but it hasn't come off the rim like Matlamaki's has. Hookah now coming back into this, applying the pressure to Matlamaki at the bottom of the hill. Can Benisto get it stopped? Benisto dragged the car to the end earlier on with that broken front suspension. Hookah's going to look to the inside, gets the job done. That's another row in the final arc. It'll be row 2 for Jere Hookah. Benisto, though, survived Q3 with that broken front suspension. Now survives the semi-final with a flat left rear.
Wow, you putting Benisto through the ringer today. This was an action-filled cross-car junior semi-final. As multiple flats in that one. I think, what do we have, 3 flats? As we go back to the start here, and that was the number 13 of Benisto getting the whole shot, probably the saving grace. That was Matlamaki up and over the curb. Little contact there between Benisto and Matlamaki. All those drivers taking that cut really, really tight. That was when Jere Hookah took the Joker.
Wonderful see in these replay package.
There was the missed shift there by Jere Hookah.
Next time around, let's just see, Jim, if we see the front 2. But I think you thought that the flat, yeah, we don't see it. I think you thought the flat was on Benisto's car before this, so maybe it was the previous lap. Drama for them. Survived though, both through to the final, remarkably so. Had Tovio been still in the fight, it could have been a very different story, but actually because Tovio got that flat earlier on, it's kind of saved Matlamaki's bread.
Well, you know, we saw this happen in Q2 with the same class, though. I mean, qualifying session 2, drivers were blowing the tires right off the beat as well. So one of the big storylines heading into the final and semifinal number 2. But Benisto able to hold on. Jere Hookah in second. Matlamaki settling for third. They're going to transfer to the final later on this weekend. But we've got 3 more here in cross car that we're going to take. This one, we've got 5 drivers on the grid here in semifinal number 2. It is going to be Permaki on the pole position, been very fast today. Antilla in the second spot. Isak Setra and Kangasaho battling back from that flip in qualifying session number 1. And Yalame there in the 5th spot. Lights out, green flag. We're going to see who's got the whole shot. Look at that great jump by Isak Setra from the second row. We got 3 of them bumping into the first corner. That's going to allow the number 48 of Antilla to get by.
All that hard work for Permaki's been undone. Force wide in the first corner, 3 wide, just wasn't going to work into turn 1. Isak Setra has gained from that. Maximum gain though for Alex Antilla at the front of the order. Permaki's going to try and use the pace that she's got in herself and the car into the Joker this time around. Isak Setra piling the pressure on to Alex Antilla at the front.
Antilla's continuing to lead here, getting a lot of pressure though. Etc. starting to put some pressure on. We have 5 laps to go here. Paramaki and Yalame side by side coming up across the finish line.
Paramaki really has to get past Yalame if she's going to progress. Oh, up the inside. Don't have contact there, that'll be messy. Gets the job done, Yalame forced out wide. Paramaki needs to get a wriggle on to try and get into the final this afternoon. Now up to P4, the top 3 yet to Joker.
Yeah, Paramaki can have a shot. She can make a really good push lap or two. Can have a shot to get back into the top 3. Kangasaho currently in the 3rd spot, the one she's chasing down.
The gap between Kangasaho and Paramaki was over 2.5 seconds last time around. What's it going to be this time? Fastest lap was a 51.5 for Alex Antila.
Look at that.
Kangasaho must have something going on with the rear of the car because the pace just isn't there. That's a reprieve as Antila goes faster again on a 50.2. But Paramaki can now smell a final spot, looks to the inside. Don't get sucked into a fight now when the driver's in front after Joker. Kangasaho goes in. That's allowed Paramaki track position, so she's back into a final position.
Kangasaho now trying to make a battle with Paramaki now into that 3rd spot.
Just doesn't have the pace, so that for whatever reason, Oni Kangasaho hasn't got the speed in the car.
There's something going on with that car, drastically off pace from the first lap or 2. So we've only got 2 laps now remaining as Antila and Etc. across the finish line. Etc. has already taken the Joker, so we're looking for our leader, Antila.
Faster again, a 50.019 for Alex Antila on a massive charge at the front of the order.
Going to save that Joker for the last lap. Antila continuing to push, trying to separate himself from Etc. Etc. though on a burner here. Really trying to get a good push lap in. It's going to be hard though. Antila with that clean air out front really hasn't made any mistakes yet today. As that number 48 comes sliding through these final couple of corners.
Got the Lightning McLean livery on the side of the car. So many people using that these days. Helps with the intention and the motivation, I'm absolutely sure of that. Paramaki comfortably in a final spot. Antila doesn't better his previous best lap by a 1/10 of a second, so still on super hot pace. 2.8 seconds the gap at the front of the order ahead of Etc. Etc. a tenth slower last time around than Antila's going to be on the inside, but I think Antila is going to have plenty in hand.
Plenty in hand for sure, so it is going to be Antila and Etc. 1 and 2. I don't know if there's going to be enough time. It's going to take a mistake by Antila, but Etc.
Great job from Alex Antila. His mummy runs the car for him in the paddock. Will be absolutely delighted with this one. Look how clean it is as well, Jim, at the bottom of the straight. So much grip now compared to what there was. That rain did not last long at all. Umbrellas have gone away. Alex Antila, front row start for the final this afternoon. Etc. and Paramaki will also be in the final race of the weekend for Crosscar Junior here in Älvsbyn.
That's going to be Kangasaho and Yalame outside looking in on this one as we go back to the green. Antila with a great hole shot in the 48, went 3 wide there briefly, didn't last long. This is Paramaki trying to get around Yalame. She was able to do it down to the bottom. Yalame ended up going out into the rough, and it was Antila at the finish taking the top spot in this one. Etc. in the 2nd spot. Paramaki taking home the 3rd spot in that final transfer position. Great effort by her. Battling through traffic, great use of the Joker. Let's come to another cross kart semifinal. The semifinal number 1 for Cross Kart's older brother. This is Yalame and Savedlin. We got Tree and Merstad and Ministo here in this one. Going to be taking 3 from this to transfer to the finals. Savedlin with that front row. We've had Tree with some great starts so far this weekend. Merstad there outside in the 2nd row as well. I'd be looking for Tree in that spot. to make a real hard push here. Tree having some lightning fast starts. Svedlin struggling with the starts this weekend for whatever reason. Seen him cycle back as far as 5th off the start. But right now, look at that Tree, just as I said, trying to make a push, nothing there. Svedlin getting the best start of the weekend he's had.
Merstad up the inside of Vettel. Tree gets forced wide. Ylälami gets up the inside of Tree as well. Tree's now got work to do to climb back into a final spot this afternoon. Svedlin had such low RPM there. He saw the car start to move, then the wheels span up. Great start from him into the Joker for Ylälami, who won not long ago, last time out in Finland. No, it was earlier on than that as well. It was in Tjörp that Ylälami took victory on the second day. Tree up to a final spot at the moment, but yet to Joker. This is Ylälami in a good position here.
Svedlin out front. Ingmerstad trying to get into the mix as well. Tree, Ylälami there, your running order. Carl Svedlin with his best start and best effort so far, saving it for the semifinal. Great run by him. Big gap back to Ingmerstad in the second spot. Looks like we're starting to get a little bit of rain back onto the track.
The rain is absolutely pouring behind us in the commentary position. The conditions so fluctuant here at the moment. Merstad's into the Joker, comes back out ahead of Ylälami, looks up the inside of Tree. This can really help Tree out if these two come together. Look at, they're struggling for traction on the tarmac. The rain is really coming down. We saw a couple of years ago here in Älvsbyn, Jim, I think it was last year actually, where it absolutely monsooned at one point. Oh, Merstad backing in at the bottom of the hill, understeer, oversteer. Wipers on for all of these cars now that have windscreens. And just like that, it's changed conditions again.
And now look at it, just in that last lap, really starting to pour. All that traction that was there is now gone.
Absolutely crazy. So much dust flying on the loose, but the rain is pouring down. The loose hasn't even got that wet yet. The tarmac can be super slippery. Svedlin out front into the Joker, trying to cover off from the fighting going on behind. Svedlin comes out of the extra heat. This is going to be tight with Tree. Unfortunately for Vettel Tree, this is not going well.
Now Vettel Tree having work cut out for him. Merstad putting a lot of pressure on Vettel Tree. Svedlin now gapping Tree in the second spot already. Vettel Tree going to have to get cycled back at some point, has yet to take the Joker. Looks like Merstad may be able to take that. Ylälami really trying to soak up the gap as well, trying to make a move for position to try and get into the third spot when Tree finally does take that Joker.
For sure, both of them will clear Tree if the gaps remain the same. There's only a second between all of them at the moment. Ylälami just dropping off the back of Merstad. Tree has to go again. There's no point in jokering now. I don't think. Ylälami to the outside of Merstad. Svedlin struggling up front with the traction. Tree has to stay out here just in the hope that Merstad and Ylälami come together and both lose time. Wildly different conditions. The cars behind us in the paddock are being jacked up. Tyres are being thrown at them. They've gone on to wets on the rear of Adam Oman's car. His open two-wheel drive machine ready for the semi-finals in just a few minutes. One lap to go though. Tree's going to take his Joker on the final tour.
All right, so that's the one to watch. Vettel Tree, I think they both got him covered in this one.
100%, yeah, nothing they can do.
All right, so we're coming down the home stretch. Final lap. We've got Carl Svedlin out front. Haven't talked about him much. Vettel Tree's yet to take the Joker in the second spot. Is Merstad and Ylälami both going to get around? We will see. Looks like they should have it covered. We're going to see Vettel Tree take the Joker. Oh, big stop for Vettel Tree.
What a shame for Vettel Tree. Makes a mistake. 360 spin into the Joker this time around. He'll just desperately hope that these two come together, Merstad and Ylälami, and lose a lot of time on this final lap.
Picking their way through. Oh, and that is an off there from Manisto. 131 out into the big rough out on the outside of that corner.
Svedlin, though, has managed this race really well from the front of the order. Just what he needed to do. Takes the victory. Ylälami is all over the back of Merstad as they cross the line to make it through to the final.
What a change in conditions from the start of that race to the finish. Started out sunny and dry with a very grippy track. By the end of it, a full downpour. What a change as we see here. It was nice and dry to start the race. Carl Svedlin with a hole shot, and then somewhere along the way, we started getting the rain to come in. There was a little bump there. Yalami into the back of Merstad. Yalami and Merstad battling pretty much the entire race. Vettel Tree there in the second spot. Carl Svedlin took his joker early and was able to eke out in front of Vettel Tree.
And look at later on, the weather just turned on its head, didn't it? This is Tree dropping it, Jim. What a shame for him. No final this weekend.
Oh, tough break. I think Vettel Tree really didn't have a chance with still having to take the joker even without the spin. And that was Ministo there with a spin off that jump. Calling it a day. Tough day for Ministo as Carl Svedlin comes across the finish line. Going to find his way to the front row in the finals as the rain's coming down. We've got our video crew trying to keep the camera equipment dry so we can bring you this amazing live stream. That was semifinal number 1 for Crosscar. Svedlin, Merstad, and Yalame going to punch their ticket to the finals this afternoon. All right, so we've got one more group. It's going to be a 4-car shootout for 3 spots in the final. Isiksetra, Huka on the front row, Bomanis and Rosemom in the second row. All 4 of these drivers have had some great battles as we're going green here. Isiksetra and Huka going to be taking the lead down into first corner. Looks like Huka's going to get the better of Isiksetra.
Only one of these drivers won't make it through to the final this afternoon, but you want to be out front, don't you? You're not battling in the spray and the dirt. Isiksetra. Rossmom fires it up the inside of Baumanis, almost into the rear of Isiksetra. Great move from Rossmom.
Oh, a little contact there with Bomanis, I guess getting even there.
Baumanis comes back, loses time, does Rossmom on the way into the joker. This is the most slippery part of the track, this tarmac in the middle sector, and then this tarmac down the bottom of the hill as well, where all the mud has got dropped onto this left-hander. We'll see in the next shot, they'll be super sideways through here. And then this final couple of corners right down the hill. You really lose how steep that downhill is on the TV. Understeer, then oversteer for Espinese, etc.
So Rika Huka leading out here. Big gap over Isiksetra in the second spot. Look at the mud starting to form here on the track. It was dry just a little bit of 10 minutes ago. Now these drivers forced to run in some very slippery conditions here in this semifinal number 2. Leader Rika Huka continues to lead here. It looks like we're going to have Isiksetra decide to take the joker on this one. Bomanis going to get around. We're going to have Isiksetra back into the 3rd spot. Rosemom back in the 4th spot, has taken the joker as well. Going to try and have a push lap here with Isiksetra and get back into things.
I think it's all falling away for Rossmom at the moment, isn't it? Depending on what Baumanis can do on this next lap. Huka managing the grip. Baumanis looking more on top of the car at the moment. But Rossmom, actually, to be fair, and Isiksetra looking very comfortable in these conditions. What can Rossmom do from the back of the order? Fastest lap of the race so far for Riku Huka. Fastest lap, though, goes now to Rossmom. He's on a big charge, trying to make up for lost ground. Baumanis has to go again here, surely, to try and extend the gap.
The rain just sideways pouring down here as Rika Huka is leading out here. Bomanis tiptoeing through that inner portion. As Howlett said, one of the most slippery portions of the track. Looked like Rosemom starting to drop back a bit.
They need to be careful at the end of that curb on the left-hander where the curb is almost like a step up that they're clipping and pitching the car up. You can only do that so many times before something gets damaged. Let's have a look back at the gap. The rain is increasing. Surely not another fastest lap for anyone here. No. Rossmom's speed nearly half a second slower on that tour than he was on the previous run. Baumanis backing it in to the right hand of the gap from Baumanis to Rossmom is 2.2 seconds. Huka's into the joker. Baumanis is going to go again to try and salvage a final spot. Rossmom on the back of Isiksetra really wants Isiksetra to get on with it so that he can get his Easy Etc. struggling, isn't he, in these conditions? Look at the windscreen on Easy Etc.'s car. He's just blind. It's just so dirty. Rosbaum up the inside.
Look at that. Rosemont trying to make it happen here with 2 to go.
I think Easy Etc. If we see the blue car in the background, I think he's really struggling for visibility. Yeah, look, the wiper's just not working at all.
It's just a muddy windscreen there.
This is played massively into Bowmanis's favour, and it's Easy Etc. who looks like he's not going to go through. The winner from round 5 yesterday. It'd be a disaster for him not to make it through to the final. Currently second in the championship as well behind Carl Svedlin. This is not what Älvsbyn Easy Etc. needs.
So Bowmanis through the Joker now. The last driver to Joker going to come out clean. Rosemont in the 3rd spot. We've got Easy Etc. fighting that windscreen that is just completely covered in mud. No visibility whatsoever. There is Hookah commanding lead over the rest of the field. Easy Etc. just continues to drop back behind Rosemont.
Easy Etc.'s been in the final every event so far this year. Hookah crosses the line to take victory in this semi-final, but Easy Etc. it's a disaster in his championship quest that he's not going to be in the final this afternoon. Poor visibility hampering him mid-race. Bowmanis and Rosemont both do make it through to the main event later on, but Älvsbyn Easy Etc.'s championship challenge is dealt a hard blow here in Älvsbyn.
So go back to the highlights. Riga Hookah taking the whole shot early, but at the end it was Carl Svedlin. Or excuse me, it looked like Carl Svedlin. Must have been a clip from earlier. Was Easy Etc. there getting battled by Rosemont? That is Riga Hookah, the ultimate leader, hitting the curb there. Starting to get the rain kind of blow through here into the booth. As Riga Hookah going to walk away with the victory. All right, so our results, Riga Hookah transferring to the final, Bowmanis as well as Rosemont, all 3 transferring in. Easy Etc. heartbreak, finishing up in 4th with that windscreen issue, just completely covered in mud, no visibility as we're going to 2-wheel drive. And out of all the divisions to run in the rain, this is the most interesting. These cars slip, slide around. It's going to be one that's going to be very exciting to watch. So you got John Nee here in the number 1 spot. Local Victor Johansson there in the 2nd. Westman and Oman, Lidman and Fahlgren rounding out your 6-car field. We're taking 3 out of this one. No, I believe, no, 2, 3. 3 out of this one. No triple semifinal in the 2-wheel drives, but look at them go off and look at the slow. They're fighting for traction there as well. 3 wide. Victor Johansson just getting bumped around.
Oh, Oman had such a great start, ends up on the inside. I wonder if everyone's changed tyres or if Oman's just is the only driver on wets who's managed to get changed ahead of these semis. John Nee, though, fastest earlier on today. Perfect start for him.
Yeah, Westman there. Looks like we're going to have Lidman take the Joker as well as Fahlgren. So those 2 drivers going to take it. Oman going to slot into the 4th spot.
Oman made such a good start. He put wets on just as they left their awning behind us. Of course, we don't know what everybody else is on in this race. The rain is absolutely pouring down here in Älvsbyn for the semi-finals.
All right, that is Oman going to try and make a move there on Westman as they tiptoe around that corner. John Nee, though, continuing to lead. Victor Johansson settling into the 2nd spot. Look at that contact there with Westman and Oman.
Oman up the inside,
contact.
of fellow local Linus Westman. Westman comes back at Oman, but Oman's got great traction out of the Lexus. IS200 in a really strong position at the moment is Oman. Victor Johansson running 2nd at the moment, not working out from this weekend. Oh, Westman's broken the steering, front left, stuck on the outside. Lidman's lost out badly behind Westman with that broken front suspension.
Oman and Westman just a battle, banging each other at some point. Something's got to give.
I think Lidman's also got something going on with the front of the car, just won't turn in at all. That looks like more than just the conditions to me. Johnny and Victor Johansson managing this, the best of the pack at the moment out front.
Johnny and Victor Johansson both settling in, happy that they're up front with all the chaos happening behind them, but Johnny just on another level today. Been very fast through all the qualifying sessions and really throwing it down here in semifinal number 1.
I'd be so tempted to Joker now if I was either of these two. In fact, if I was Johnny, I would be in the Joker right now just to cover off the track positions. I think there's got enough over Adam Oman behind, carrying the damage.
Yeah,
It's Victor Johansson who's into the Joker and Oman behind.
It looks like Fahlgren going to have a shot there at Oman. Oman with the speed, though. A little contact.
Needs to be done on track now, doesn't it? Because Fahlgren has already been into the compulsory extra route. Lidman there as well, into the rear of Oman. Oman, meanwhile, into the rear of Fahlgren.
We got bumpers flying off fronts and rears by these 3 drivers. It's an all-out slugfest here with Fahlgren, Oman, and Lidman.
Conditions so tough in these high-power rear-wheel drive machines, trying to keep it neat and tidy.
Massive lead by Johnny there out front. Victor Johansson very happy in the 2nd spot after yesterday's failure to make the final. He's going to be happy to qualify in and through that 2nd spot to the 2nd row, but right now the battle is going to be for this 3rd spot.
Fahlgren's dropped it though. Oman's been given a position, as has Lidman. Fahlgren off onto the infield. That's exactly what Adam Oman needed. Cars everywhere. Wrong direction for Fahlgren out of the Joker section, having been across the infield. Oman under massive pressure from Lidman though.
Oh, Lidman almost with a spin. Going to use that momentum almost like a Scandinavian flick there. But Oman got about 3 car lengths here with a couple of corners to go on, and then we're going to hit the final lap. But wow, this one is eventful for this 3rd spot. So that is for the
Lidman up the inside. Oman's left the door open. Lidman doesn't need asking twice. Up the inside. Now drives up the hill. Oman's got good traction out of the final corner. Side by side over the line. There's panels flying. Oman's got track position at the moment. Can Lidman come back on the inside? No, the grip is not there. The fight continues.
A bump over the jump. Lidman into the back of Oman. Oman doing all he can to block Lidman. Lidman way up high. Going to try and slingshot around. Big loop. Now Fahlgren going to come back in. Oman giving a gift here. Going to run away with this one. Now he's just going to tiptoe to the finish line on this last lap.
Lidman went wide, I think, to try and get the undercut, but you couldn't overtake there because of the yellow flags for Linus Westman's stricken machine. Up front though, Johnny is experiencing no such troubles. There is the leader. Johnny takes semi-final number 1, sorry. It just felt like number 2. It got on so long. Johnny is the victor. Adam Oman struggling for visibility. The screen all misted up, and just about see to follow fellow local driver Victor Johansson over the line.
We'll say Oman's car looked like it'd been through a war there, as we saw the bumping and banging right from the start. Oman into it there with Victor Johansson. Johansson then bumping the back of Johnny. We had Oman down through the mud and the muck in the infield. Rest of the drivers getting through clean. Oman then into the back once again of Victor Johansson. We get a replay of that first corner incident. And here's Oman and Westman and the big contact that ultimately knocked Westman out of this. Was Westman getting into it with Oman, almost spinning Oman around. Lidman and Westman getting into it with each other.
What a shocking home weekend Westman's had. Retired yesterday after that spin in the first corner. And again today, not making it through the semi-finals.
Fahlgren and Oman and Lidman with that battle for the final transfer spot. You get a look at Westman, not happy, left front damage. Fahlgren threw it away, had the transfer spot, looped it out, gifted it to Oman. Then Oman just had to worry about Lidman. Lidman trying to apply some pressure. Fahlgren regains on the track after that big spin. Lidman going side by side, door to door with Oman, knocks into Oman, front bumper flies off, and then we've got a drag race to the finish line here as they're both bumping into each other. Nothing left to Oman's car at this point. All the bodywork's gone. Lidman spins. Johnny and Victor Johansson, 1 and 2, they were just off in their own race, which is probably where you wanted to be in that one, because that battle for the 3rd spot was heated. Ultimately goes to Adam Oman. Victor Johansson's second. John Nee going to be qualifying in that top spot. He's going to find a front row spot here in the finals later on this afternoon as Westman's car gets loaded onto the Scoop of Doom.
Han har alldeles tagit sig ut ur bilen, men kör en kort intervju på engelska tror jag, till YouTube.
All right, looks like we've got semifinal number 2 lining up here for our open two-wheel drive division. Just looking at these cars, they've all looked like they've been through a war this weekend, and based on what we saw in semifinal number 1, they all definitely have. Just getting ready to start the semifinal number 2. Going to be 5 drivers. We are going to be taking 3 to the final. Gabrielson and Tiger are going to be on the front row. Stenvall in the mix as well. We've got Ackerman, we've got, Ackerland, excuse me, Gunnarsson there in the last row. Doesn't look like Norman's going to be able to make it to the grid. So it's going to be 5 cars. Going to be 5 laps. We're taking 3. Moving forward, Gabrielson ridiculously fast in that last qualifying session. Simon Tiger on the front row. It's going to be dangerous as well. Gabrielson down on the inside. Looks like he's going to get the edge on Simon Tiger. Stenvall going to slide into that 3rd spot. Ackerland there. Gunnarsson as well, but Gabrielson the one out front.
Tiger's windscreen already full of dirt on the exit of the first corner. Tiger cannot see a thing. Windscreen wiper not working as it might do. Look at the dirt on the front of Tiger's car. Everyone else with a relatively clear view behind. This is working well for Lucas Gabrielson at the front of the order at the moment. Ackerman into the Joker this time around.
All right, Tiger getting a lot of pressure there from Stenvall.
Tiger can't see now. That rain and water has helped clear the screen on the BMW.
Gunnarsson starting to apply some pressure there on Stenvall. Ackerland trying to get back into things after taking that early Joker. Rain has stopped briefly. Doesn't mean it's less wet, just not pouring down more rain. As Gabrielson with a massive gap to second place Tiger.
Ackerland in the background, first driver to take the compulsory Joker. That could prove to be wise with this lot all bunched up as well. Ackerland closing on the brakes in the background. Gunnarsson has to go again. Tiger's going in to try and cover off Ackerland in the background, just to maintain. Track position comes out just behind Gunnarsson. Wise from the Tiger squad. Sadly, Marcus Norman didn't join this grid, so clearly whatever broke on the car was too much.
All right, so now we got Stenvall getting a lot of pressure there from Gunnarsson. Both those drivers going to have to take the Joker. Got to be worried about Simon Tiger there in the 4th spot.
Stenvall runs wide. Gunnarsson up the inside over the curve in the big Volvo. Gets it done. Great drive. This is all playing into Simon Tiger's hands. Wow. Simon Tiger also up the inside of Stenvall. Can't get it done.
Tiger just trying to out-horsepower him down that home stretch. Not enough time to make it happen. Had to shut it down as Stenvall closed it off. But Gunnarsson now in that final transfer spot, or excuse me, in that second transfer spot. But way behind Gabrielson, who has now taken the Joker.
Stenvall into the Joker. That's going to free up Tiger to climb back up into the top 3.
So now Gunnarsson in second, the only driver yet to take the Joker. Traditionally, we've seen Gunnarsson take it early in these races. This is the first time today, or this weekend, we've seen him take it later on. We'll see how this plays into his favor. But right now, Tiger and Stenvall both really pushing hard. Gunnarsson going to be in trouble here.
Got to stay out now to try and build the margin, I think. What's the gap going to be as they cross the line between Tiger, one of the fastest drivers in this series, former champion, current championship leader, Lucas Galbraithson leads out front. 1.8 seconds the gap between Gunnarsson and Tiger. I would definitely go again, just to try and hope that something happens to those two behind. I think he is going again, looking at the attitude of the car. No,
he
he's
does
going
take
in.
it. Goes in.
Stenvall
Oh,
on
look
the
at
inside
that.
of Tiger. This could help Gunnarsson's cause.
That's exactly what Gunnarsson needed, was the two drivers to get into contact, and they do.
Tiger right
Gunnarsson
up
off into the soup.
Tiger was right up on two wheels there, couldn't do anything but to run into the side of Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson's so unlucky that Tiger lost that traction.
Oh, Ackerland now off. He's going to be stuck. Nothing he can do about that. Right now, it's going to be Gabrielson in that transfer spot. Going to be hitting the final lap here. Tiger and Stenvall also in transfer spots as well. We're going to see if Gunnarsson can get back into things with one to go. Gunnarsson looks like pulling off.
He's there in the background, but way too far behind. Lost a lot of time. Stenvall wide into the dirt. Just needs to keep his head on now to Stenvall, because you can't overtake at this part of the track with the yellow flags. And it's just about making it to the end and confirming your place in the final.
All right, so the way it's shaping up here, it is going to be Tiger and Stenvall in those final two transfer spots. Gabrielson going to come home with it. Gunnarsson a distant fourth at this point. Ackerland finds himself parked in the rough, into the muck. And Gabrielson, very fast, very efficient today. Going to be bringing it home with the top spot. Going to punch his ticket to a front row in the final. Simon Tiger and Stenvall going to take your second and third transfer positions. Hotly contested one here in two-wheel drive in both of the semifinals. This brings us to our recap. Gabrielson getting the whole shot, the jump from the pole position, a little pressure from Simon Tiger, but nothing really there, as we had Gunnarsson there and Stenvall getting into it. And here was the merge, Simon Tiger up over that inside clip, nothing he could do. Gunnarsson didn't give him much room, and then as he came back down, Gunnarsson ended up into the mud, dropping back there into the fourth spot, which was out of a transfer spot. Gabrielson, meanwhile, going to bring it home, take home that top spot. Simon Tiger going to find himself on the second row in the final. Stenvall on the third row. Brings us our results for open two-wheel drive semifinal number 2. Gabrielson, Tiger, Stenvall, Gunnarsson. That's your top four. Ackerland and Norman not able to make the start.
Ja, men det måste vi göra idag. Med tävlingarna kommer jag också säga. Men nej, de kör så pass fort de här andra så att det är klart konkurrensen. Så se, men kanske måste kapa om att de meter för att hänga med klart ut de här.
Det var ju himla härligt att se Emma åka den genom semifinalen till finalen.
Nej, men jag har haft lite strul med starterna och det är på grund av vädret. Det är innan starten är svåra med det.
Det var det som gjorde åt det.
Det var inte superbra start.
Då kör vi ihåg åt det. Då vi bara. Ja, är det.
5 varv och snacka om padel och se vad som ska bli först där.
Ja, men det är jättebra.
Ja, jag tror vi börjar passera här nedanför oss ytterligare 37 lite mer framför så att vi kan bara få vinkar så vi måste halvsätter och ögonkontakt med banan där. Det var inte mycket till färd. Vi gör oss redo i alla fall till vi står det i FC2 då. Oliver Eriksson står redo där nere på första 16 tillsammans med brorsan Kevin då, startnummer 23. Så har vi Adam Öhman då som står där nere med startnummer 20.
All right, looks like we have open four-wheel drive. This is going to be semi-final number 1. It looks like we've got a couple of Eriksson entries in this one. Oliver Eriksson and older brother Kevin Eriksson on the front row, and it's going to be Omen in the third spot. We're going to be taking 3 of this one, so this is all for starting spots in the finals. So the Eriksson brothers going to go do battle. Kevin Eriksson once again besting Oliver. Oliver getting into it with his brother.
Kevin had the line in the inside of the first corner. Oliver sunk it around the outside, bit of contact between the two. This is going to be a strategical battle. You would imagine they'll joker at different times. Adam Oman has made that job easier for the Eriksson spotters. Taking his joker on this opening lap, just getting out of that fight. Knows he'll be in the final this afternoon. Surely Kevin Eriksson will go next time around and try and get the hammer down, but Oliver Eriksson got great traction out of his FC2.
All right, so Oliver Eriksson currently leading Kevin Eriksson. Down through the front stretch. Looks like the sun briefly starting to come out.
Eriksson
Rain has stopped.
So on top of that FC2, Jim, at the front of the order, isn't he? Just looking very comfortable indeed. Oh, Kevin Eriksson super sideways over the jump. Need to be careful, Kevin, not to push the tyre off the rim.
What a beautiful shot that was, though. As a fan of Rallycross, you love to see that.
Oh, absolutely. We saw some wild jumps sideways. Victor Franks was the most of all last year in the Peugeot 208.
Looks like Kevin Eriksson now settling in after that exuberant slide there. Going to see if he can run down his brother Oliver, which is easier said than done. But Kevin has showed the pace. He's had some blistering fast laps this weekend. Just hasn't been able to put it all together quite yet.
Made a mistake, didn't he, yesterday in the semi-final and lost ground. Now he's chasing down his brother. 49.9 for Ollie Eriksson at the front of the order. Will he respond this time around, or will he be confident in the pace to go again? Personally, I'd respond just to make sure you covered off the track position. Eriksson does not go into the joker this time around.
See if Kevin can do another good push lap and see if he can chase down Oliver. Right now, Oliver, I think, has plenty of time to be able to take the joker.
4.9 seconds the gap last time around. Oliver Eriksson driving very well indeed. He was quick in Q3 in the similarly slippery conditions, wasn't he, when the rain started to come down.
Kevin Eriksson seems like he's settled in here into the second spot. Happy with this. It's going to be, as it stands, a second row spot in the final for Kevin Eriksson. But Oliver Eriksson now pushing. We got 2 laps to go. He's got either this lap or the final lap to be able to take the joker. Is he going to take it this time? It looks like Oliver does take the joker this time. Should have plenty of time to clear his brother. He does. So all the jokers are in the books now. It's going to take a mistake by Oliver for Kevin really to get back into this thing.
Yeah, it looks fairly comfortable for Ollie Eriksson up front, doesn't it? Kevin Eriksson just doesn't seem to have the same traction that Oliver does, potentially on different tyre strategies, but I would imagine they're all on wet, so I can't imagine anyone would risk dries at this stage. Look how wet it is at the bottom of the circuit. Yeah, they're all on wet for sure.
All right, so Oliver clicking off another lap. Should be the final lap incoming for Oliver Eriksson. There's Adam Oman. He's going to transfer in that third spot. Well, big slide again there for Kevin Eriksson. The exuberance showing by Kevin Eriksson in this one.
He's good at the sideways driving, isn't he, Kevin? Famous for his round the outside move at Estering 2016 on route to the World Championship round victory. at the moment, and we're pleased to make it through this. Already in the Open 2-wheel drive final. This is going to be a spot in the FC2 final as well later on.
That is a driver who's been driving 2 divisions all weekend long, and he has been through some absolute all-out wars. He's had crashes, he's had bangs, they've had destruction, and to finally at the end of the weekend find his way into 2 finals, they've got to be very happy with what they've gone through this weekend.
Yeah, it's still a lot to do. You can still end up on the podium even winning, couldn't you? You never really know in Rallycross how it's going to transpire at the end.
All right, brings us to our highlights. Oliver Eriksson getting the pole shot over his brother Kevin, who was hotly contested into that turn number 1 little bump. Kevin into Oliver. Oliver getting the best of Kevin. Kevin just settles in. There's a big exuberant slide off the jump by Kevin Eriksson. Beautiful rally shot there as Oliver Eriksson taking away the victory in semifinal number 1. His brother Kevin gonna punch his ticket to a 2nd row start in the final. Adam Oman gonna take that 3rd spot as well. Nason not able to take the green flag on this one, so we're gonna see Nason at the next round. All right, coming back here, 3 more cars. It's been a little carnage in the all-wheel drive, open all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive division. It's gonna be Anderson, Cerna, and Darbic. Tell you what, the 3 of these drivers have had some battles this weekend. Cerna and Anderson and Darbic have all 3 battled each other very hard. So this is going to be for position in the finals. Going to determine 1st row, 2nd row, 3rd row here as the light goes out. You're watching Anderson and Cerna. Those 2 have really battled each other strong. Darbic with a great jump from the 2nd row, but Cerna with a hole shot. We're going to see Anderson try and put some pressure on if it's traditional Anderson.
Oh, Anderson clipped the curb on the inside. How did he damage the car? He just skipped in an unusual way there on the inside, did Lucas Anderson's FC2 machine. Great start from Robert Cerna, the former cross-car driver from the front row. Darbic into the Joker this time around.
I think it was a very smart move there for Darbic to take that early. And as you saw up through the Joker and some of these, some of the gravel lines, it's starting to actually get a little bit dried out, especially that bottom line there through the tarmac. So this track, as we say, in ever-changing conditions, seems like it's drying out yet again. As we've got Cerna, our leader, and we've got Anderson trying to chase him down.
A lot of wind around as well as now, which will help dry the circuit. Cerna gets reasonable traction, having been sideways up the hill. Lucas Anderson tidying things up, having been super sideways through the weekend so far. Fastest lap of the race for Robert Cerna at the front of the order, 51.3, 51.5 only for Lucas Anderson. Very little to choose between these 2 drivers at the moment. Anderson's jokering this time around to get out of the traffic and try and cover off Darbic sideways over the hill.
He's going to just briefly clear Darbic, so works to Anderson's favor. Now he can put in the work, try and chase down Cerna. Oh, a little bit of an over-rotation there allows Darbic to get back into it.
Just so slippery in that left-hander, isn't it? And then into the right as well, left-hander down the hill. Pressure being applied by Darbic here. Is going to look to the inside of Lucas Anderson. There's touches there. Darbic bails out of it.
Look at the windscreen on Anderson. It's not clearing as much as Darbic's is. So I think Darbic able to push here with that windscreen, not really being able to clear all the mud there on Anderson.
I was wondering if Darbic was getting a bit misty on the inside, runs deep over the jump. That's where Adam Roman rolled yesterday. Struggling for traction. Robert Cerna into the Joker to cover off yesterday's winner, Lucas Anderson. Job done.
But it's just weird, if you look at the windscreen of Anderson, most of it's clearing except for the bottom right in front of the driver. And the way these drivers sit in the cockpits, they sit lower, so it's like that one spot of mud is right in the eyes of Anderson. As Cerna right now walking away with this one, got about 7-8 car lengths, going to be 2 laps to go this time by. Cerna just hitting his marks, trying to keep it clean. Going to punch his ticket to a front row start in the finals if he can keep it perfect here.
Be an all OMSE front row with Cerna and Ollie Eriksson at the head of the order. But as we've seen so far this weekend, the front row is not necessarily a place to be. Depends what happens to the weather. There's going to be a few races between now and then.
Anderson looked like having a little struggle there around that corner. So Cerna continue to lead Anderson. Anderson up and over that inside clip. Really struggling to chase down Cerna. Cerna with that clean air has just been hitting his marks, no mistakes. Anderson continues to hit these inside curbs. You got to think at some point it's going to cause a little damage to the car. You don't want to continue to just abuse the car like that. As Cerna stretching his lead over Anderson up through the first corner.
Anderson fastest lap in the race on the penultimate tour. Again, he's taken a couple of attempts, but Cerna backing back as well. Gap's pretty neutralised between the two. Anderson knowing that he's unlikely to close that gap, and it's all about trying to prepare for the final now.
Yeah, Anderson going to have a second row start in the final if he can hold off Darbic. I think Darbic doesn't really have much here unless there's a mistake by Anderson to get that spot away. Anderson settling in, trying to hit his marks, do a little homework for the final. And right now it is Cerna with a couple of corners remaining, looking at a front row start. And after we saw in some of those qualifying sessions and the not finish for Cerna, he's got to be very happy with a front row start in the finals. Anderson going to hold on for second. Darbic going to be in the third spot. All three transferring to the finals here momentarily. All right, right off the start, it was Cerna with the whole shot over Anderson. Anderson trying to charge in that first corner, just not much there. Kind of went up and over that inside clip, caused a little upsetting of the car and never able to get back into it. Anderson really pushing at times. Darbic going way off to the outside into the mud. Able to regain, but ended up being Cerna at the line with a perfect race, leading it wire to wire. Anderson in the second spot. Darbic settling in for third. That brings us to Cerna going to be in the front row here in the finals. Anderson going to find his way to the second row, and Darbic going to be back there in row number 3.
Semi-finals done. We're about to get ready for the finals here in Älvsbyn, round 6 of Rallyx North. We are going racing for the junior cross car final. I think it'll be junior cross car final first, at least off the top of the Supercar Lights final first, I'm told in my ear. We'll go racing at 35 local time. That's in 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
All right, looks like we're getting ready to go to our finals for Supercar Lights, and finding his way to the pole position, it is Mads Larsen with a phenomenal effort this weekend. Going to have Darvik there outside of row number 1. Lindquist, another solid competitor this weekend. Oscarson, Janssen, and Holmquist there, rounding out our 6-car field. I think the one to watch there is the pole position. Mads Larsen's been almost perfect this today here, Hal.
Yeah, been great, hasn't he? Under the stewardship, as we said, of Juri Lindemann away from the line. Lindqvist has a great start from the second row, but it's Kevin Darvik who has the best of the launches. Lindqvist up the inside and Larsen can't get it done. Darvik under pressure from his compatriot for the lead on this opening lap.
Oh, look at that. Larsen now starting to look at the inside of Darvik. Is there anything there? No. Slams the door.
Side by side on the loose. Larsen's going to get this done around the outside. Darvik runs deep. They both run deep. Larsen going to try and get back up the inside. Lindqvist over the curb. Larsen shuts the door. They're side by side. Lindqvist still at it. Larsen's going to get up the middle of the pair of them.
Darvik to the outside through the soup. Looks like there was all kinds of damage. Oh, Darvik into the side of Oscarson there. What a wild one here. Mads Larsen out front though. We got Lindqvist who somehow kept it clean through all that into the second spot. We've got a 2-car battle here for the lead with Darvik now a distant third.
Great battle for the lead on the opening lap here in Älvsbyn. Larsen's been so quick today. Looks like Lindqvist has just not got the setup. The car skipping around all over the place. Oscarson's slow in the background as well. Front right on the car broken, I think. Larsen runs deep into the right hand and they're all struggling for traction. Has Kevin Darvik got problems?
Now that's Oscarson pulling off, saying I've had enough. Darvik with almost a spin coming through that corner.
Holmqvist into the Joker and back out again. Good job from her. She's managed to cover off Janssen, I think, in the background. Up front though, Larsen, a couple of fastest times earlier on today, doing a really good job at the front of the order here.
Now the wind's starting to pick up. It's going to dry the track out, but right now Lindqvist trying to do the work to put in to chase down Larsen, who has had a phenomenal day today. Darvik there got in the mix early, bumped, banged around, shuffled back to third as he's got a big slide there through turn number 1. Almost loses it. Holmquist already taking the Joker now, trying to narrow the gap down to Darvik to try and get a shot at a podium.
I thought Darvik had problems, but I think he's just being exuberant, as you said. Lindqvist into the Joker. Will this concede position to Darvik? No. Comfortably out in second place. F1 style in my ear. I just had a message from our producer saying rain coming in 20 minutes. We'll still be in the finals at that stage. That's going to make things interesting indeed. Lindqvist though looking to make amends for losing out at the start. Yesterday's winner. Up front though, Larsen is on a flyer.
Larsen on a flyer, Lindqvist with that Joker in the bag, so we're going to see what lap Larsen decides to take it. He's got plenty of time to clear this time by. We'll see if Larsen can take it this time. Lindqvist, though, in the second spot, going to try and put
Larsen
in a hard
has to
charge.
go this time just to cover off the track position. Does indeed go in. Lindqvist has made a bit of a mistake. Run a bit deep.
He's going to come out plenty of time in front of Lindqvist, so Larsen and Lindqvist both taking their Jokers. Darvik takes it as well. Oh, contact there as he regains there with Holmquist.
Holmqvist hasn't been afraid of making moves so far this weekend, has she? Up the curb in the OMSE run car, all over the back of Darvik, but runs wide and gets stuck in the loose sludge on the outside.
All right, so now as they sit, it is Larsen, Lindqvist, Darvik, Holmquist, and Janssen. Really right now the battle going to be for that third spot though. You got Darvik and Holmquist. Holmquist still within striking distance to Darvik. Come through corner number 1. That's really the race for that final podium spot here on this last lap. Larsen tiptoeing around that very slick corner. Lindqvist through as well. Look at that late braking for Holmquist, trying to make a move on Darvik to the inside. Not able to get a run on him. We're going to see if Holmquist has got anything here for Darvik with a couple corners remaining, fighting for traction.
Great battle for the final podium spot. Darvik clearly struggling for grip at the moment.
Darvik with a little bit of breathing room over Holmquist there. Mads Larsen going to come home It looks like with the victory, Lindquist's going to have to settle for second.
What a brilliant drive from Mads Larsen. He's been the class of the field today in Supercar Lights. Takes a well-deserved win. What a battle we had on the opening lap. Darback holds on for third. Lindquist does his championship challenge, no harm at all, with strong points in second.
All right, so we're going to look here at the start, and it was Darvik with the big jump out of the cannon. Lindquist there to the bottom, able to get a little contact there with Mads Larsen, but Mads Larsen just locks in on Darvik, dives down to the bottom early, nothing there. Mads Larsen just kind of pushes Darvik out of the way. Darvik back through. That allows Lindquist to dive all the way to the bottom. They go 3 wide up the straightaway, and that's where Mads Larsen gets away as Darvik almost loses it there. In the water, makes contact with Oscarson. Oscarson happened to pull off.
That broke Oscarson's rear suspension, that little bit of contact there. I was sure that Darback had issues as well because he was so sideways for much of that race. Fair place to Josephine Holmqvist, who drove really well today, really on top of the lights car, and could easily have been on the podium had things ended up just a little bit different.
Yeah, you know, and I've been very impressed there with Julia Lundqvist, or excuse me, with Josephine Holmqvist. We're going to see Julia in the next race, but no, with Josephine Holmqvist all weekend long. She's been very, very strong, so definitely a podium in her future. But Mads Larsen, the class of the field today, walking away with top honors. As we move into open two-wheel drive, this is going to be our Super National race, and this is where we will see Julia Lundqvist, who I mentioned. She's going to be in the mix there in row number 2 alongside Fahlgren. Front row is going to be Stenvall and Gunnarsson. Mortzel going to be in that 5th spot. So this is two-wheel drive Super National. This is a Swedish, I guess a Swedish or a Scandinavian division, correct?
Yeah, Swedish as the lights go green, and it's Gunnarsson who makes the best of the initial launches, but Stenvall around the outside going to take the lead on the opening lap. Julia Lundqvist into 3rd. Fahlgren 4th, and Mortzel at the back of this pack at the moment. The conditions changing again. Look how slippery it is down in this corner where the dirt's been dragged on. Gunnarsson looks to the inside, got the rear of the car going, got to go Joker. Cars everywhere in these greasy conditions.
Just trying to hold on to things here. It is going to be Stenvall out front, though. That has not changed. You got Julia Lundqvist there getting a lot of pressure there from Mortzel. Got Gunnarsson there to the 4th spot. Oh, look at that, Fahlgren up at the inside. Oh, Gunnarsson off into the dirt. It's going to allow Fahlgren with a chance to get around. He does. Gunnarsson out of that big car just pushing wide through that corner. So running order here at the end of the 1st lap. It's going to be Stenvall in the 1st spot, Julia Lundqvist in the 2nd spot, Nicholas Mortzel, Fahlgren, and then Gunnarsson in the 5th spot. Oh, look at that Gunnarsson, little bump there into Fahlgren. Let him know he's there. Trying to tiptoe through this. Gunnarsson already have taken the Joker. We're going to see Mortzel take the Joker that time by.
Mortzel side by side with Fahlgren. This has not worked out for Gunnarsson at all, Jim. Just rolls that way sometimes, doesn't it, as the strategy falls into place. Oh, it's chaos at the hairpin again. No one can get the traction. Fahlgren has a problem and has run to the outside. None of this is affecting Stenvall though at the front of the order, who's just driving away with Lundqvist in 2nd. It's almost like it's in slow motion. They're all struggling.
I almost thought we have 3 cars with a problem all at once, but no, they just couldn't get traction in these big two-wheel drive cars. The one person getting traction was Stenvall out front. You know, Julia Lundqvist running a great race there, settled into 2nd as well. Our 2 leaders yet to take the Joker. I can see Stenvall or Julia taking it this time. Stenvall doesn't. Julia does opt to take it, so she is going to take the Joker this time by. We're going to see if Mortzel has anything for her. I don't think he is. No, Julia seals the deal there for 2nd. Mortzel going to have to settle in for 3rd. So our leader, Stenvall, the only driver yet to take the Joker. I guess Fahlgren hasn't as well, but he's pulling off, so it doesn't really matter at this point. So the only driver left yet to take it with 3 laps to go is going to be Stenvall, our leader. I think Lundqvist, though, too far back to make a move if and when he does. All right, so Stenvall going to come across the finish there, punch another ticket. It's going to be 2 laps left for our leader, Stenvall, who's been lightning quick this weekend here in that beautiful, beautiful Ford. As we've got Mortzel now coming up over the big jump, trying to make a run here. And Lundqvist in the second spot, so leader Stenvall electing to take the Joker that time by. Plenty of room to clear Julia Lundqvist. All right, so Stenvall picking his way through. Got about 10 car lengths on Lundqvist. Got Mortzel now trying to make a move on Lundqvist, fighting for traction in that two-wheel drive, just burning the tires in that moisture.
So clean on the inside, isn't it? Stenvall doing everything right, just keeping it on. I was going to say keeping it on the black stuff, keeping it on the sort of brown muddy stuff at the moment, but at least the bit that's not all wet and slippery on the outside. Mortzel gets the survival award at the moment for being third on the podium. Dust flying now on the loose as well. It's just such tricky conditions. It's almost unbelievable that it can go from dry to wet to dry to wet to dry to wet to greasy to dry to wet to greasy. It's just been all over the place, hasn't it, today?
Well, and I think for the crews here, trying to figure out setups and wet tires versus dry tires, they really had a headache all weekend long on deciding how to get these cars set up.
The setup goes out the window at some of these stages. There's just nothing you can do. Ultimately, you've only got 4 tyres and a load of greasy sludge underneath you. Sometimes, setup-wise, there's not a lot you can do at all.
Here's Gunnarsson back in the 4th spot. Not much there. Stenvall, our leader, keeping it clean. Probably the only car on the track right now that's got a clean windscreen and not much from mud on the vehicle. Going to pick his way through, coming down the home stretch. Stenvall going to take the win here in Open Two-Wheel Drive Super National. Oh, Julia Lundqvist
dropped it in the final couple of corners. He's going to lose out on second position. What a shame for Julia Lundqvist. Mortzel takes second. Lundqvist recovers to complete the podium.
Tough break for her. Ran a brilliant race most of the race.
And you'd still be delighted to be on the podium, but you'd be gutted, wouldn't you, just to lose out on P2. More gutted than it being frustrating yourself, I'd imagine. As a driver, I'd be really annoyed at myself with that. Stenvall's going to celebrate with some donuts.
Don't want to do too many donuts. We're going to see him back at Open Two-Wheel Drive later on. Yeah, we just got one donut out of him. So now we're going to save the tires. We still got another race yet to go as we go back to our highlights. Stenvall there with Gunnarsson on the front. Little action there, mid-pack. Gunnarsson taking the Joker, able to get ahead of Fahlgren. Gunnarsson and Fahlgren going side by side. That was when Gunnarsson went up into kind of the infield section there. And then we had a 3-way battle where it was almost like everybody was paused. Fahlgren, Gunnarsson, and Mortzel in that. We had Fahlgren end up pulling off due to the contact. There's a big loop there as Lundqvist just comes in a little too hot and looped it around. Some celebratory donuts there for Stenvall with the victory here in Two-Wheel Drive Super National. Was Mortzel in second. Julie Lundqvist going to settle for third podium spot. Great effort by her. Gunnarsson right outside the podium in 4th. Victor Fahlgren failing to finish that one in the 5th spot, pulling off early due to contact. It's going to move us into a Cross Car Junior. It's going to be our final. 6 cars on the grid. This has been hotly contested throughout the day. Manisto on the pole position. Antilla there on the outside of row number 1. Huka, who has had some great starts. Etc. there in the second row as well. Permaki and Matlamaki rounding out our 6-car field. And I know this is one of those where we talk, Hal, where you say, oh, anybody can take the win. I could say out of these 6, anybody can take the win.
Yep, there's a number of previous winners in here, some that are yet to finish on the top step of the podium. But you're right, the pace is hot in this one.
For these Cross Car Juniors, looks like there was track drying out just a little bit. Rain has held off. I know we're supposed to get more rain here to come, but especially for these Cross Car Junior racers, I think they're probably praying that the rain holds out for this final and doesn't hit, because these cars, with the power and everything else, they fought through a lot of moist conditions earlier on this weekend, and looking for a dry race for once and really able to throw down. So we'll see if the rain holds out before we can get this final in, but the rain is incoming to what we understand. But Manisto and Antilla on the front row. We're looking for the light to go out. It does. Green is out.
Good start from Antilla from the middle of the front row. Got the whole shot down into the first corner. Hukar on the inside of Manisto. Manisto on the back foot. Be interesting to see what he can do from here. Super dry at the moment in terms of what's coming from the sky. Manisto runs deep into the loose sludge on the outside. Manages to get the car to the apex though. Side by side of Antilla on the exit. They come down to this tight left-hander. Breaks early does Manisto. Such good awareness to get back to the inside. What a brilliant move from Manisto to get that done. Saw it coming, let Antilla run deep. Antilla gets into the rear of Manisto now. Hukar's looking to the inside of Antilla, will be the outside for the next corner, but gets the job done on the exit.
What a great group of passing there, as now we've got the number 48, that is Antilla trying to get back there at Huka. So look at all the way to the bottom, Antilla looking, nothing there. Huka protecting really well on the bottom side, but right there, the number 13 of Manisto, after that brilliant pass earlier, has got a commanding lead over the rest of this field.
Manisto just superb with that move. Set it up well early into the corner, knew what was coming, knew that by going deep would force Antilla wide. Antilla now in a bit of a bum fight with Hukar. Who's going to joker this time around? Matalamaki loitering in the background, I suspect will go in just to try and mix things up a bit. Does indeed go in, does Matalamaki.
Yeah, Paramaki looks like did as well.
He's etc. The only driver to joker on the first lap, climbs a position back up to 5th, but wasn't close enough to Matalamaki. Matalamaki could be looking strong here. He's etc. makes a mistake in the hairpin. There's just a tiny clean line on the inside, and then it's all wet and slippery on the outside. That's why the open two-wheel drive cars were struggling so much.
Antilla now trying to put in the work, trying to chase down Huka and Manisto. All three of our top 3 drivers yet to take the joker. A little bit of strategy on who's going to take it and win here, but Manisto has just been shot out of a cannon after that pass earlier for the lead. Track really starting to dry out for these cross-car juniors.
Matalamaki right on the back of this pair, who are both going to joker this time around, Hukar and Antilla, but Matalamaki's going to take the position for the pair of them. Hukar looks to the outside. Great positioning by Matalamaki on the exit to cover off. Hukar right in the rear of Matalamaki. Nothing doing there though. Matalamaki gets in the throttle early, rear slides wide, but gets it nicely under control. Up to 2nd position now for Matalamaki. Big cut in the background for Hukar, but the gap I think is going to be insurmountable between Matalamaki and Manisto at the front of the order.
So now we got Huka trying to chase down Matalamaki. Going into this first corner, beautiful tandem drift through that one. Antilla a few car lengths back. Looks like Matalamaki got the car upset a little bit off that jump. Look at that, Huka all the way to the bottom. Drew even with Matalamaki, but nothing there to come up through this technical inner portion of the course. Huka about a car length back, going to try and set something up, looking all the way to the inside. Matalamaki protecting very well, nothing there for Huka.
Solid job from Manisto to get in and out the joker with still plenty of margin. Matalamaki resisting the pressure. Look, Hukar on and off the brakes with the left foot. The nose of the car just bumping up and down. Looks to the inside, but that corner tightens on the exit. Hukar 2 sideways, loses the momentum, and that's so important in the junior cross car. Up the hill here in Älvsbyn. Into the final lap though for championship leader Manisto.
So last lap, Manisto, Matalamaki, and Huka 1, 2, and 3. Got Antilla trying to put some pressure on those for a podium spot. Looks to be a few car lengths back right now. Manisto with a commanding lead over the rest of the field. Looks like both these cars struggling for traction here. Huka trying to better the podium spot, not able to do it. Matalamaki playing defense quite well.
Huka lost out yesterday, will be pleased to be on the podium this afternoon. Matlamaki again being runner-up as he was yesterday, but what a brilliant job from Manisto. 5th victory in 6 rounds in Rallyx North, and it was all about that pass on the opening lap. Brilliant job from Manisto. Matlamaki takes 2nd, Huka in 3rd.
That was, like you said, it was a brilliant pass. Made the move when he needed to, and then protected quite well the rest of the race and kind of ran away with things. Great use of the Joker. So get a look here once again at the start.
Brilliant start from Alex Antila. Huka to look up the inside of Manisto as well, and you've got to think, if Huka had got that done on Manisto, it could have been a different story, but this is an exceptional move. Break turn, he let Antila run just, we miss it in the replays, but let Antila run just a little bit deep, cut back underneath. Exceptional from these young drivers, such brilliant spatial awareness, and yeah, runaway championship leader is Manisto. It's hard at this stage of the season, Jim, to see him being beaten unless Matlamaki's consistently 2nd, but Manisto really needs things to start going wrong to upset that form at the front.
All right, so it's Manisto with the top spot here in our finals for Cross Car Junior. Matlamaki in 2nd. Jere Huka rounding out our podium. Alex Antilla there in the 4th spot, not able to make his way to the podium, but great race there in Cross Car Junior. So we are going to take a short break here. And we're going to go to some replays because we've got more finals yet to come here with Rallyx from Älvsbyn. And welcome back here to Älvsbyn. Jim Beaver and Hal Ridge. We are getting ready for some more finals. This one we got cross cars on tap, following cross cars. We're going to have open two-wheel drive, and then to round things out, we're going to have our FC2 cars, open four-wheel drive, going to be in action. But right now it is Carl Sabedlin who has been crazy fast today. We got Huka on the inside of a road, or on the outside of row number 1. Bomanis and Merstad, Yalami and Rosemom rounding out our 6-car final. This should be an interesting one. Rosemom there in the 6th spot had to battle through, scrape by to make their way into this final. And what a great race that one was in that semifinal number 2. So definitely looking forward to seeing the way this one plays out. But Carl Sabedlin and Huka there on the front row, probably the 2 to beat, as the lights are going to go out here momentarily, and we are going to get the green. Oh, Sabedlin with a great jump there.
Good start from Bomanis on row 2. Svedlin with the lead. As you say, this is a real opportunity for Svedlin to capitalise sideways through the first corner. They all survive. It started raining again, Jim, in this small gap we've had between the finals. Not ideal for these cross-car runners.
Now Rika Huka there in the 2nd spot, getting a little pressure from Bomanis. Big Merstad in the mix as well.
Merstad jokers, Rossmalm goes as well. Yulalami thinks better of it, stays on the standard lap. The nose rises on Merstad's machine. He means business to Norwegian, the reigning champion in Rallyx cross car. Up behind Yulalami at the moment. It's not working for Yulalami. Dust still flying, rain still falling down. These conditions are all over the shop. Hukar takes a massive chunk of curb through the left-hander. You've got to be so careful doing that. They've got massive travel on these cross cars in the suspension, but you've got such big risk in those corners as well.
All right, so as we cycle through here at the end of lap number 1, it is Carl Sabedlin currently leading Riku Huka. We got Bomanis in the mix as well. Yalami, Merstad, and Rosemom in there. Merstad and Rosemom both taking the Joker on the first lap. We're going to see if they can battle back in and get into things, but right now it is all Carl Sabedlin out front.
Yulalami running without a windscreen. You see on the front of his car just the mesh for the fin. Up front though, windscreen, windscreen, windscreen for the top 3. In fact, everyone in this race uses a windscreen except Yulalami. That can actually help him in these conditions because there's no danger of it misting up or getting overly muddy. Bomanis taking chase to Huka. I have to say, Jim, Bomanis has really stepped up this year in this category.
Bomanis been very fast today, applying a lot of pressure throughout both the qualifications and the semifinals now, and really challenging Huka for that 2nd spot.
Yet to finish on the podium is Bomanis at this level in this series, so doing a good job here. Yulalami just dropping off the back of Bomanis a little bit. Fastest lap of the race again for Carl Svedlin, 53.4.
Look at that, really an aggressive turn in there for Yalami, trying to get around Bomanis. Bomanis had a little bit of a hesitation there coming into that big right-hand corner, so we're going to see if Yalami can get the better of Bomanis here, as Bomanis still trying to chase down Huka in that 2nd spot.
Looking good for Thomas Merstad though, isn't it? If he's going to get ahead of these guys fighting ahead of him. Already been in the Joker, has Thomas Merstad, Rossmalm too. But with Yulalami and Bomanis fighting, this is really playing into the hands of the Norwegian. Yulalami looks up the inside of Bomanis, pop of flame from the Latvian's machine as they rise up the hill. Massive battle.
Very fast into that corner there as Yalami trying to chase down Bomanis. Oh, look at that side-by-side. What a pass!
What a move from Yulalami. Is he going to get it stopped? Yes, he does. Move of the day for Jonathan Yulalami.
That was a beautiful pass, as Bomanis saying, I don't want any more of this. I'm going to take the Joker. I need to clear my head. Yalami with the pass of the weekend.
That's dropped Bomanis out of any hope of finishing on the podium this afternoon unless chaos ensues. Bomanis probably should have stayed out a little bit there to see if anything happened behind. None of this is troubling Carl Svedlin up front though. The JC Race Technique driver was on the podium yesterday, leading the championship on a strong run at the moment. Here's the young Swede, the reigning cross-car champion, junior cross-car champion, sorry, from 2025.
All right, so Savedlin followed by Hookah, both yet to take their joker, as well as Yalami after that beautiful pass for the third spot. So all three of our leaders going to have to jump into the joker at some point here on this last lap. All right, looks like we are going to have all three taking it. We're going to see if Merstad can make something happen here.
Watch Merstad on the inside. I don't think it's going to be enough for Yalami. The Norwegian is coming in hot, the reigning champion. Yalami carries great pace there around the outside, gets the job done. Yalami's on a mission at the moment.
We got Hookah that's going to have his work cut out for him with Yalami. Yalami is throwing caution to the wind in this final round here. Driving like a driver possessed is Carl Savedlin, probably going to come home with the victory, but Yalami not being counted out yet here with one final corner to go.
Carl Savedlin's going to cross the line to take another victory in Crosscar Rallyx North 2026 and extend his lead at the top of the championship. Hookah finishes second. Yalami, what a brilliant drive to third.
Yalami, I mean, coming out of the back row and just absolutely brilliant bit of driving today.
And did his fastest lap while also overtaking Baumanis with that wild jump we're going to hopefully see in just a moment.
Here was Baumanis hitting the car upset. Yalami there. This was her starter to reel in Baumanis. Had to sit on the rear bumper of Baumanis there for another lap. As we see Yalami just stalking Baumanis. And here it is, there's the pass. Yalami just all the way to the bottom, sideways through the air.
Full commitment.
Oh, that was beautiful. That'll be on the highlight reel for years to come. Yalami giving us something to cheer about out here in the rain at Älvsbyn. What an earned podium there for Jonathan Yalami. Moment of the weekend for me so far. Cross-car final, Carl Savedlin taking home the victory, extending the points lead. Rika Hookah in the second spot, and Yalami there in the third and final podium spot with that brilliant bit of driving from the back row. It's going to move us to our two-wheel drive final here.
Adam Oman's mechanic has just driven the open four-wheel drive FC2 down to the grid because Oman's got to do back-to-back finals now with the FC2 for the last race of the day and the open two-wheel drive final. There is Oman with the half-clean Lexus on the left-hand side of your shot. There's his other car in front of the Rallyx trailer in the background.
Oh, you gotta love that. And you know, you can see I had a moment put a car on a podium twice within about a half hour of each other. That's got to be some kind of a record. Doesn't happen very often in rallycross, but gonna have his work cut out for him to do that. So we're getting our open two-wheel drives gridded up. Stenvall in that race earlier. There's Oman. That car has been through a war this weekend.
Look at it, absolutely battered to bits, isn't it?
That one, I think, it's lost a few fenders and bumpers and a lot along the way. He had to really earn his spot through that semifinal into this final. He's going to take a second row spot there next to Victor Johansson. So we're going to have John Nee there in the number one spot. It's going to be Lucas Gabrielson on the outside of row number one. Victor Johansson and Simon Tiger there, a couple of locals there in the second spot. And then we're going to have Stenvall and Oman there on the back row. So lights are going to go out here momentarily. We're going to go with the green here in the final, a two-wheel drive open. John Nee with a little hesitation is going to allow Gabrielson and Victor Johansson to get by.
Johnny goes wide, tries to send it in. He's going to drop it on the outside again. Victor Johansson runs wide into the gravel. They've all lost time. This is massively. Victor Johansson, sorry, he's got a puncture left rear with that contact smoke pouring off the back of the big Mercedes. There's been no home podium for Victor Johansson this weekend. At the moment gets turned sideways. It's chaos in open two-wheel drive, but Lucas Gabrielson running free out front.
Yeah, John Nee coming through, bumping into Johansson. Looks like he's bumping into everybody. It's got a little bit of a wrecking ball, and sometimes you got to do that in the rain with these slick conditions. Adam Oman there up through the middle trying to regroup as well. Johansson just trying to get that car out of the mud and off the race line.
Difficult conditions. What a shame for Victor Johansson. He put such massive effort into getting this event away up here in Älvsbyn, and he really wanted a strong result at home as well. Put so much effort into his racing. just losing out with that puncture. Desperately sorry for Victor Johansson, but there's a real opportunity here for some of the other drivers. Lucas Gabrielsen, fastest lap of the race, first time around.
Yeah, there's a look there at that puncture, left rear puncture of Victor Johansson. I believe that was from the contact in corner number 1 with Johnny. Gabrielsen now up through the Joker. That's going to be very important to get that cleared early on. So now Gabrielsen with a real opportunity to run away with this, with Stenvall and Johnny in the second and third spot respectively, still having to take the Joker.
The winner yesterday, Lucas Gabrielsen, is in control of this race. Brilliant, brilliant job for Lucas Gabrielsen, the championship leader. Won the first round into third, second, and then won yesterday as well. Did the Finn, really has worked hard on his Toyota Starlet. There's Victor Johansson. We can't have favourites, and I'm not championing Victor Johansson because I want him to win necessarily over anybody else, but he just put so much effort into this series and into this event. It would have been lovely for him to have enjoyed being on the podium in front of his family and friends here. Not to be this weekend. Johnny, though, has been a star today, hasn't he? Been so quick in the BMW. And Stenvall, who's just won the Super National final,
Stenvall going to take
up there as well.
He's going to take the Joker this time. He's going to see how that shakes out. Johnny, now the lone driver, yet to take the Joker with 3 laps to go.
Simon Tiger not really featuring. I don't think we've mentioned Simon Tiger yet.
No,
another of the local drivers just not really featuring in this final.
No, he's just, for whatever reason, struggling out here with the rain. As Stenvall there, looking beautiful in the third spot. Got a real opportunity to take the second spot away from Johnny when Johnny takes the Joker here in the next couple of laps. I would say at this point, Johnny probably going to take it on the last lap, try and gap Stenvall as much as he possibly can. He's had the speed to do it. It'd be really close if he took the Joker right now. Simon Tiger now trying to get into this mix and try and find his way to the podium as well with Stenvall there. Oh, and a big spin by Johnny.
Thrown it away as Johnny, after all of the hard work done today on the way into the Joker. Simon Tiger looming in the background in the orange machine. Is he going to get the position? Yes, he is. What a shame for Johnny.
Oh, that's a tough break, Johnny, with a very fast race car this weekend. Throws it away, goes through the Joker. We got a lap and a half to go. Johnny going to try and get back into this, find his way to the podium, but he's going to have to get around Simon Tiger, which is easier said than done.
Simon Tigers just manages beautifully, Jim. Just been there or thereabouts. Hasn't had the ultimate pace, but just kept it consistent. Wonder if he's got big damage that's hampering the power of the car. It's all pushed in at the front, isn't it? Wonder if the cooling has been impacted there. Stenvall, great afternoon for Stenvall, winner of the Open 2-wheel drive Super National final earlier on in the aging Mercedes. Johnny isn't done yet, though, is he? On the back of Tiger, looks to the inside, the 2 BMWs.
Look at that. Oh, big slide there by Johnny, trying to find traction. There's not much available. Simon Tiger just tiptoeing through the interior portion of this course with about half a lap remaining. Stenvall solidly in the second spot. Right now the battle for that third and final podium spot, Johnny and Simon Tiger. It's going to be a battle to the finish as Stenvall there beautifully around that corner. Johnny with a big slide in the 2-wheel drive.
Barely seen Lucas Gabrielsen. He's already up the road. He must be nearly across the line. He's indeed across the line. Lucas Gabrielsen takes another victory to extend his championship lead in Rallyx 2026. There is the little Starlet, barely a mark on it. Such has been his dominance in this final this afternoon, Jim.
Oh, just a beautiful bit of driving. Took that Joker early, just barely cleared the field, but got it out of the way, and nobody had a chance from then on. Oh, just a beautiful effort there by Gabrielsen all weekend long. Just been a dominating effort in 2-wheel drive. There's Adam Oman. He's going to do double duty here, so we're going to watch Adam Oman see how he does the transition. He's trying to get past everybody, knows he's got to jump out, jump into another car.
I wonder if he's going to drive to the grid or come back to the paddock. He's going around. They're going around the full lap here. Of course, they've got to go to Parc Ferme. There's a quad at the front leading this field. He's desperately trying to get through the traffic, is Adam Oman. It's like going to work on a Monday morning. Oh, no, Stenvall's doing donuts. Adam, come on. I know you finished on the podium, but I need to get in my 4-wheel drive car. This is a hard transition now. But you know the conditions, so it's an offset, isn't it? Yes, he's got to go into a totally different drivetrain, but at the same time, he's the only driver in this next race who has the most recent knowledge of the track conditions. So 50-50, isn't it? You lose out because you're not necessarily fully focused on four-wheel drive, but you gain because you know where the grip is.
Well, and I think talking to a lot of drivers, and I've done some transitions myself, but jumping from a two-wheel drive vehicle to a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle is much easier than going from a four-wheel drive to a two-wheel drive. So we will see how that works. But here's the start. That was Johnny with a big exuberant slide, got into the left rear of
Johansson,
Victor Johansson, and you can almost see where the tire goes right there. It's gone. It just happened right there in that first corner. Johnny gets into the back of Omen, gets him spun around as well. That was all she wrote for Omen, wasn't able to get back into things. Johnny there with a spin. That was where he gave the podium spot away. Stenvall able to get through as well as Simon Tiger.
There is Adam Omen on the back of the quad bike, heading to the grid. That's wrong direction into the grid. The local star Adam Omen, who's been a revelation in open four-wheel drive this year. There's his result, P5 in open two-wheel drive. Gabrielson, Stenvall, Tiger and Nee take the top four, but the open four-wheel drive grid is waiting for Adam Omen to get to his car. Little wave to his friends that work at this event. Epic job from the Omen squad.
Great job by them. He's going to jump in and out, not even a drink of water. Ready to go. Double duty. But like you said, you know, I think he's got to look at the track now. He's going to know where the fast lines are. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you're still fighting for traction. It's just different levels of traction. And I think he's going to know where the race line is. The first lap, a lot of the drivers are going to have to figure it out. I think Omen really will that first lap have him an advantage over the rest of the field.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it, to see what the red machine can do. Where is he on the grid? He's on the back road together with Darback. Going to get taped into the car, as is so often the case. That doesn't restrict you from getting out. You have to push the door a bit harder, but that's just to stop the water coming in with these fiberglass cars. I'm sure the panel gaps are not what they once were on that car after that massive roll he had yesterday.
It's just amazing we're seeing that car back in action all this weekend, and that happened early on in the qualifications yesterday, and they were able to get it together for the next session. And great bit of effort as the rain continues to come down. It's going to be a very slick final here for open four-wheel drive. As you see the windshield wipers starting to go over the windscreens there. And I think fans all got the umbrellas out. We've had the weather come and go, and it is definitely here for this final in open four-wheel drive. So if we needed any more storylines, this was it. Mother Nature decided to insert herself into this one, and is going to be on the front row. We're going to have Oliver Eriksson there, and his teammate Sirna, which we saw Ollie Eriksson and Sirna get into it yesterday. Sirna getting penalized over the contact, said it was just an accident, which I completely agree. No harm, no foul for them, but was penalized. So we know these teammates will definitely battle each other hard. Second row, Lucas Anderson, been a little off pace today. Kevin Eriksson trying to find his footing. I think he finally did in one of the qualifications. Then we got Omen and Darbeck in the third and final row. This one's going to be electric as we're going green flag racing here with open four-wheel drive final.
Contact away from the line. Serna and Anderson side by side. Ollie Eriksson sideways through the first corner. Good job from him, Kevin Eriksson. Fourth at the moment ahead of Omen, who's cleared Darback from the back of the grid. But Ollie Eriksson not under pressure on this opening lap. Good start from the former champion. Adam Omen up the inside of Darback. Omen's going to joker this time around behind Kevin Eriksson.
Great use of the joker there for Kevin Eriksson.
He got stuck behind Darback yesterday as well. Darback has been quicker today though, Jim. He's learning quickly.
All over the bumper. He's going to try and make this move quick. He knows he needs to clear Darbeck to have a shot at a podium here.
Anderson very sideways on the loose. It is raining again. Sorry, on the tarmac. You can see on the camera lens it's raining again, but has Anderson got an issue, or was he just too sideways?
Look at Kevin Eriksson's pace. He's really going to push Darbeck here. Knows he needs to get around. There's some immediacy to this with 4 laps to go.
Anderson committed through the first corner. Wipers on for Kevin Eriksson. He'll be desperately hoping that Tobias Darback goes into the joker this time around. He's not obliged to do that. Runs a bit deep, does Darback. Who's going in this time? Darback does indeed go in. That's going to let Kevin Eriksson get the hammer down.
Kevin Eriksson going to clear Darvik there. Darvik clearing Omen. So now Kevin Eriksson going to try and make a run there up to Anderson.
Yet again in these conditions, the Joker looks not too much slower than the standard lap sideways for Cerner. Anderson also a bit out of shape on the tarmac. Ollie Eriksson though is running away with this out front. The gap as he crosses the line and sets a lap that's slightly slower than his previous one. The gap's 2.4 seconds over teammate Robert Cerner. Yesterday's winner Anderson running third at the moment. Kevin Eriksson will be looking to close the gap. The gap between Eriksson and Anderson is 1.7 seconds.
It's going to be close. Eriksson really trying to reel in Anderson. Anderson does take it. We're going to see if Eriksson's got a chance. Eriksson coming inside. They're going to come through, and it looks like Eriksson not going to be able to do the deal. Oh, look at Anderson, kind of turns in there.
Anderson with a Scandinavian flick. Eriksson gets the car rotated, tries to drive up the inside. There's no way through. Good job from Lucas Anderson. Eriksson's waiting in the wings to look for an opportunity, then nose to tail down the hill.
There you go.
So close. All of the experience of Kevin Eriksson just to be in the brakes enough to not shove Anderson in the rear, but to apply maximum pressure.
Yeah, he's trying to force a mistake out of Anderson. He's got 2 laps to go to do it. That is not what you like to see. World-class driver in Kevin Eriksson putting pressure in your rearview mirror if you're Lucas Anderson.
Anderson, a 2-time winner in the series this year. Robert Cerner into the Joker. Eriksson side by side with Anderson on the exit. Anderson's going to run a bit deep. He's so wise to that. Lucas Anderson covers the inside.
Look at Kevin Eriksson just continuing to put pressure up. There's the mistake. Is Kevin Eriksson going to be able to capitalize? Going to try and get a run? There's nothing there.
Not there. I think you run the nose on the curb. The rear goes wide. So sideways is Anderson going down the hill. Eriksson goes to the outside. Anderson's got to be careful on the brakes here. Kevin Eriksson's going to look to the inside. No way through. Darvak's joined the party as well.
Kevin Eriksson really putting some pressure on Anderson, the slower the car. Now Darvik in the mix as well, starting to hold up traffic on this final lap. You wonder if some point Kevin Eriksson goes elbows out and just forces the issue.
I don't think it'll happen. Anderson sets the car up so nicely into the first corner. Eriksson isn't that driver to force a way through, especially given his standing in the championship. Goes side by side with Anderson again. Anderson's so good on the brakes down here. Darvak though up the inside, clatters into the rear of Anderson. Avoids the rear of Eriksson. This is the final lap. Sideways again for Anderson. He's doing a great job of defending this position.
All right, so we're going to see Eriksson with one final shot in this big sweeper as Oliver Eriksson takes home the victory. Kevin Eriksson, nothing there. Darvik, big slide out around the end. And Anderson going to hold on for the final podium position. Cerner, who we haven't even talked about since the opening lap, taking home second.
Great job from Ollie Eriksson. We barely saw him. That's a mark of a commanding drive, isn't it? When you run out front, just like we saw from Lucas Gabrielsen in the previous race in open 2-wheel drive. Adam Omen, speaking of open 2-wheel drive, also making it to the end of that one. 12 laps in the space of not very long at all is a credit to him. Eriksson, the championship leader, extends his margin. We're going to get some donuts from Eriksson.
Donuts in the mud there.
He's got the job of cleaning the cars in the next couple of days before heading to America, but I'm sure he won't mind cleaning this one as much as he would have done had he not finished on the top step of the podium.
Fans loving it out here in Älvsbyn. What a great run there for Oliver Eriksson. That one was a nail biter for the podium all the way down to the finish. All right, off the start, it was Oliver Eriksson with the hole shot. Mehmet Cerner taken into the second spot, and that was about where the first two ended up. The battle throughout the day was there for that third spot. Kevin Eriksson taking use of the Joker early on. Darvik then trying to apply some pressure to Kevin Eriksson, but on the merge there, Kevin Eriksson just not able to get by Lucas Anderson. Jumps down to the bottom, seals it. Kevin Eriksson, the faster of the two drivers, but Lucas Anderson just absolutely playing great defense today and just didn't open the door one bit for Kevin Eriksson. Kevin Eriksson there to the bottom.
Darvak came in hot there, didn't he? Almost caused absolute chaos, but they got away with it in the end.
got away with it in the end, and in the end, it was Lucas Anderson for that final podium spot. And our victor, that was Oliver Eriksson. We met Cerna in the second spot. Great effort by him this weekend, showed a lot of speed. Lucas Anderson in the third spot, Kevin Eriksson settling for fourth, Darvik in the fifth spot, and Adam Ullman settling there for sixth. All right, well, what a weekend of racing here in Älvsbyn, Hal. I mean, we've seen weather changes, we've seen great racing. I mean, saw some brilliant passing.
Yeah, and the rain's coming hard again in the background. There's the JC Race Technique squad trudging back to their awning. There's Joel Kristoffersson in the background, looking very wet and miserable indeed. But he'll be delighted, though. Another win for his driver in Carl Svedlund. Podium there for Lucas Anderson in a massive defence drive from Kevin Eriksson. Ollie Eriksson, though, brilliant drive in the final. He's been unlucky this year at times, notably on the first day in Honky where he led from the front and then made a mistake, had a car problem, whatever. Yeah, he'll be delighted to be on the top step this afternoon.
All right, so I guess final takeaway from Älvsbyn. You've been here before. I mean, this was some amazing racing. What's your final takeaway, Hal?
Yeah, great racing here, isn't it? Great enthusiasm from the local community, massive effort. I know we've mentioned Victor Johansson a lot, but there's a lot of people that put a big effort into making this event happen. We're a long way north in Sweden, and yeah, it takes a big effort to put this event on, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see the community rally around this event, all the local contingent, the entries, and as far as the track goes, I mean, this one holds up. I know a lot of the drivers say this is an old-school rallycross track. They love coming here, and now, after being here for my first time, I understand why they like coming here. The passing is brilliant, the racing is great, and the atmosphere is phenomenal. So what a great way to wrap up Älvsbyn. You know, obviously, Rallyx now, we're moving to the United States. We've got Crandon coming up in 2 weeks, one of the iconic off-road venues in North America. It's been around for 55 plus years, and Rallyx, after a demo last year, is going to be making their debut there with a full series, so very much looking forward to that. It'll be covered here on rallyx.tv, so definitely make sure and watch that. And on behalf of Hal Ridge, I am Jim Beaver. We'll see you next time.
That's so different.
Well, I leave them home. Let's figure out where the hotel room. Says the guy who forgot in the car this morning.
Yeah. I'm often claiming I don't. I've got 2 now, so I always leave one somewhere and I have to get back together.
Fair enough.